I'm gonna start the stream. Alrighty, and we're live. Welcome back to Kingless Chronicle. Last time, the party finished up exploring a rather high-level area known as like a Sancted Glade. They narrowly avoided most of the combat encounters just by the skin of their teeth, before making their way to the deepest part of the Sancted Glade, where they found an ancient tree dragon, who they learned lots of information from, and then he forced them to fight him. They barely lived with their lives, and then kind of skedaddled their way out with all the goodies and stuff that they'd acquired along the way. Afterwards, they retired to the city of Lunaria, where they took a long, well-deserved rest. Currently, it is the early morning, as the party awakens from resting in Uncle Bernard's home. You awaken to smell some lovely food. Again, morning breakfast having been made.
You. Oh yeah. Oh, to the morning prayers, yeah. It's time for breakfast. Or brunch, or whatever. Only high ends of branches, like 3 of them anyway, so.
You're able to enjoy a nice, very simple breakfast. Uncle Bernard actually looks at the party. Came home rather late last night. Looked rather haggard. What happened?
Well, we went deeper into the forest, mostly to get some materials from someone else. And let's see, we bumped into, not in particular order, turtle people, giant trees, face spiders and their queens, a plant woman, and only the most fearsome of them all, a plant dragon.
As you say, as you mentioned the plant dragon, you actually hear Kirillai put down a fork as it clinks on her plate. A plant dragon? There shouldn't be anything quite like that deep within the forest.
Well, there shouldn't, but there is. Oh. Not one to lie about something like that, so to let the people more attuned to dragon tell you about it. Look to Bug, Talon, and Snacks.
Whose room does Snacks sleep in? Come to think of it.
Snacks would bum with you, Bub, unless told otherwise, and then he'd sleep
That's
somewhere
fine.
on the floor.
I mean, Bob's used to sleeping in a room with like 20 other kobolds, so whatever.
Just
It's
like
super
home.
roomy, honestly.
It's just like home.
Yeah, exactly.
Snacks just laying on
I
top
figured
of
I'd ask, 'cause-
sleeping. I guess someone will speak up then. I don't think that was the best time to bring it up, but he's not wrong. We did encounter a dragon.
Viralore actually looks at you. Is that so? That's news to us. There really should not be a dragon within those woods. It disturbs the natural order. It's it's even stranger if there is one as well, because the Guardians, as well as the forest itself, has not spoken of it to us.
Has it spoken
He-
about it today?
No, it mentioned nothing of the dragon.
Yeah, well, I think it was the best kept secret. Even if I was the forest, I would have been pretty afraid.
I see. Perhaps I'll bring this up to Uluru, as well as Urantir.
We'll be heading on our way eventually as well, so if you want to do so, I respect your decision.
She nods. Don't quite like a dragon being quite so close to home, but I suppose as long as it's not causing any troubles for us over here, I don't see much of a reason to get worried about it now.
We will learn so much. And before I dig into studying hard, I need to go say goodbye to certain people and give Uluru her dress.
Goodbye. Ah, I take it you are returning on your journey then.
We've been here for quite some time. I think it's imperative that we do get ready to move on.
Right. And Lunaria and the forest's nice and all, but I do kind of miss the feeling of civilization. Paved roads and all that.
Ah, back on the road again. Gonna miss all these beautiful elven women. Especially those spa girls. They know how to treat a man. Ain't that the truth? Eleanor
Yeah.
speaks up. I will miss Lunarnia itself, but we do have a schedule to maintain. We have more connections to make, more business opportunities to seek out. So while it would be nice to retire, perhaps for a bit longer, I'm afraid that's just not an option for us. We really must be going quite quickly. Uncle Bernard speaks again. I see. Well then, it was lovely having you all. Let's enjoy this breakfast to the fullest.
Thank you. And thank you for constant hospitality.
Of course. Never forget, Delon. It is in the Guilherme family to treat their family and their closest friends with the utmost care and respect.
I have not forgotten that.
Nor would you.
Everybody from Delon's family has such good manners.
Uncle Bernard actually blinks for a moment before he just can't help but laugh. I'm quite glad to hear that, young bub.
All right, well, take care of yourself. We're going to be doing our best to, I guess, what's the name of the continent we're on? Come to think of it, I've never asked that question.
Land of Canes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Land of Canes.
Well, we
Yeah,
got to
that's
be off to help save the Land of Canes.
Quite a noble endeavor. I wish you all the best of luck. You hear as, Lady Fearlore speaks up. She actually, smiles at the whole party, giving you all quite the warm, welcoming smile. And please, do remember, you are all more than welcome to visit again at any time. Any friend or family member of Talon's is more than welcome at this table.
Thank you.
thank you both.
Of course. Thank you for your visit. It's been very nice to have the company.
Do y'all want me to do the parting gifts now, or wait until we're all really set up before giving them?
Your call. I mean, I literally just said what I'm gonna do this session, so
Yeah.
I'm pretty. It's gonna be pretty quick for me,
Okay.
unless the
Okay.
elementals tell me some terrible secret.
Hmm. I mean, I guess might as well. Alright. Before I depart, I do have a few gifts for you all.
Gifts.
Oh, of course. I wouldn't dream of having such an extended stay and not providing something in return.
Ah, Delon, please. There's no need for such gifts.
I insist. Your hospitality has been more than wonderful, and it should be exchanged with something. Now, sit still, I'll be back. Delon returns with there we are. These 2 wooden swords for your sons.
Excellent.
And this is for you, Lady Fiora.
For myself. She
Cool.
actually takes it quite gingerly from you.
And I could not have forgotten about you, Lady Fiora.
Well, thank you. I was considering whether you were going to give me any sort of a gift or not. She says with like a playful, mischievous wink.
Believe me, I was tempted not to.
Aw, there would be no fun in that. Quite unfair of you.
Perhaps. As for you, Uncle, I'm afraid I don't have any gifts for you.
It's quite alright, Delon. It warms my heart to see you giving gifts to the rest of my family. Your company was a gift enough.
I thank you for it, but in all honesty, I couldn't really think of anything to give you. You already have, Delon glances to the rest of the table. You already have a good family. I'm not sure what anything I could give you would pale in comparison to it.
You see as he gives you a smile, nods at you. Thank you, Delon.
Of course. Please, take care, and everyone as well.
You as well. And when you return to King's Landing, send my regards to the family.
I will. And if you should like, perhaps before I depart, I could send a message or a letter, if you'd like.
Actually, he stands up, walks away for a moment before returning with an envelope. Give this to your eldest brother.
I'll be sure to do so. Thank you.
No, thank you, Delon. I mean it. And safe travels out there.
Aye, and you stay safe as well.
He
Yep,
nods.
Guess we're all getting ready to depart.
Shortly after that, the party finishes the breakfast, enjoying one last little breakfast, in quiet but very companionable silence, before leaving to go about the rest of their business. So, I think I'll start with Delon a little bit, and then move to someone else, because Delon has the most things to do. So Delon, what do you want to do first?
First things first is picking up the map.
Alright. So you make your way into the market district, little market square area. you see that multiple merchants are buying and selling things, but that's not where your attention lies. As you find the little home that seems like, again, it was here before the market district kind of propped up fully, and you actually see the old halfling sitting on his rocking chair, smoking his long pipe.
Excuse me.
Ah, hello. Welcome, welcome. Come. He hops off his rocking chair rocking even with him not in it for a moment. And he leads you further onto the porch itself. Cookie, biscuit, perhaps? These have honey and poppy seeds in them.
No, thank you. I've already had breakfast, but I appreciate it. I've actually come
Passing
for
on
the
second
map.
breakfast, I see. Must be for the missus.
No, not this time. Business, so to speak.
Ah, I see. Business before pleasure. Understandable. Just don't forget the pleasure part right after.
Thank you, I won't. I've actually come for the map I've requested of.
Of course. And I was just about to get it for you. Of course, it's had to make the pleasantries first. So you don't want a biscuit. They're quite good. Fresh, hot, still warm, made them this morning myself.
Well, if you do insist.
Please, I'd be insulted if you didn't. He hands you a plate that has not one but 2 biscuits on it.
I will take the one.
He notably hands you the plate and turns around to walk inside, leaving you with the plate with 2 on it.
I guess I will eat 2. It has been decided. That's my destiny.
That's just how halflings are. They give you free food. They do. It's like your old grandma who you can't say no to the food she keeps bringing you.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
He comes back out shortly after, with a very nicely ornamented little map case, like a little scroll case, if you will. He hands it to you. Here you are. Now, if you open that up, you'll find the magic.
I see. Is there any other tricks I should know about?
Oh yes. Give it a whirl. Try it out.
Alright, I'll pop it open, tap on it.
So as you open it, you find that a piece of parchment practically floats out like it has a life of its own, kind of like a magic carpet, with just a little bit of a whoosh as it floats flying right on out. It then unwraps itself, laying itself before you in thin air, as the map has unrolled itself and is floating at eye level.
Marvelous.
Now then, King's Landing. The map gives us a brief shimmer before it shows a rather detailed map of King's Landing, and only King's Landing. Asterium. He proceeds to follow the same thing, showing Asterium. Gloucester, Reynold, Neblum. And then he, after that, he puts his pipe in his back of his mouth, kind of crossing his arms with quite a confident, happy, satisfied grin.
Solana glances over it. He can tell a lot of work went into it. Absolutely exquisite. I love the details on the edges.
Quite welcome. Now then, for the real bells and whistles. Abstract. You see as the map looks like a normal piece of parchment to you. Clarify. Once again, the map is revealed before you. Now it's a map, no longer just simple parchment. Misdirect. You see as you can tell that it still seems to have the map of that it was showed before, which is, say, Nebulum, but it seems almost like you're looking at Asterium instead.
Hmm.
And here's a freebie on me. He takes out a regular map and he puts it on top of your map essentially. He holds it there for some time, and you see as the map that he has disappears into your new map. He grins around his pipe. Alrighty then. Savage Lands! And it shows a detailed map of the Savage Lands now.
Thank you. This will be most useful.
Of course. Now then, go ahead. Put the cap back on.
I do so.
As soon as you go to put the cap back on, you see as the map immediately rolls itself up, and with a small little immediately sucks itself back into the map case. It shan't tear, burn, wilt, water away, erode. You'll find it could stand quite the test of time.
Good. We'll need that to do that and more.
Good. I hope that it should prove to be quite useful to you. I made sure to give you all the best high quality features.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to leave.
Yes, of course. Safe travels, and do not forget, you need to have brunchin' and second brunch. Don't forget lunch. Quite skinny, boy.
Thank you. I'll remember to do so.
See, as he simply puffs on his pipe, giving you a little wave as he sits himself back down on his rocking chair.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. And let's see here. I'm going to move over to, I think, Gildos.
Uh-huh.
So Gildos, what do you wish to get up to at this time?
Oh, I think I'll do my quick shopping before going to the temples. Just so you know, like, just not leaving with like the other two at the same time.
Alrighty.
So yeah, but essentially it's a quick stop to get like 500 gold worth of platinum rings and a pearl. Just because I want to cast Identify later on.
Alrighty. So
Finally.
what value of pearl? They come in many different values, kind of like diamonds.
Yeah, it's 100 gold, so.
Alright, so you're getting a regular pearl at 100 gold. Sounds good.
Yep.
So you go around the shopping district and you find that you're able to acquire most everything that you want from one key vendor, the jeweler essentially. Do you wish to try to make a roll to get a lower price, or do you want to just accept market value?
I mean, what kind of roll would it be? Persuasion, right?
Yeah,
Something?
persuasion, assumedly. The only downside is that if you fail, you might insult him and he might charge you more.
Yeah, the thing, like, it's gonna be a straight roll, so I mean, I could try. I mean, oh yeah, right, yeah, I still have the charisma bonus, actually,
You do.
from so that would be, yeah, it's a +3. I'm gonna try. Like it me as well. What's the 12?
Alright. So
It's gonna be
12.
market value,
Alright.
most likely.
So 12 plus the charisma bonus? Alright.
No, it's already
Oh, it is?
it's 12 with the charisma. Yeah, like I did 20 d20 +3. So.
Oh, you don't have any modifier to your charisma roll? Like an error?
No, I have neutral charisma, but 11 with the bonus from the crown.
Oh, okay. Huh. Did not know that. Interesting.
Oh, yeah. I've
The
been
more you know.
average charisma for like the whole game.
The more you know.
I don't feel like it, I guess.
Alrighty then.
Yeah.
So with the
Sweet.
12, you're able to haggle him down. He seems to quite like you as a fellow craftsman, and so he's willing to sell you some parts, essentially, to help you with what you want to do. For instead of paying 600 for everything, he charges you 450.
450. So since 2 sessions ago, I removed like 500 gold already from the bank. Gonna add like a 50.
Sounds good.
There you go. And yeah, with that done, I'll just make my way to my first pit stop. It's gonna be the Healer's Den. I mean, that's
Alrighty.
where I started, like when we went to the town. So that's where I'll start doing my goodbyes.
Sounds good. So you make your way towards the Healer's Den. You find that it's much less busy than it was last time you were here. There's no soldiers out front. There's not like a large swarm of injured people, nothing of the like. It's actually quite tranquil here at the moment. When you arrive, you see that Theolore is standing outside the Healer's Den. She's handing out little vials of water, kind of a thing, to some people who walk by.
Right. Well, some more here to secure alliance. I'll walk up to her and say, "Well, good morning again."
She smiles at you. Good morning. Would you like a vial of holy water?
Well, I could use one, thank you.
Quite welcome. She hands it to you. No charge.
Thank you. And well, as you know, we'll be leaving soon, so I was thinking of saying my goodbyes as well. And well, the first person that helped me in this town was your sister, so I thought to start there.
Ah, she's currently within the Healer's Den's walls. You'll find her within, just simply resting and studying. It's quite the tranquil day.
Thank you. Well, suppose I'll say my goodbyes to you. I mean, I know we already sort of did it, like at the dinner table, but it'd be more personal if I had said it to you face to face. So, thank you for urging us.
Of course. Thank you for being friends with Delon and protecting him and aiding him on his journey.
Of course. I mean, you did the same for us, so it's only natural we do.
Indeed. But I still wish to thank you for it.
Bernard. And yeah, I think I'll leave her to holy water distribution.
Alright.
Back one last nod. It was a goodbye. I'll head inside.
Alright, you make your way inside. When you step in, you find that, much like the last time you were here, it's quite calming, very relaxing. The main difference is that most of the priestesses who are here seem to be sitting on benches or like, and either praying or meditating of some sort. When you walk in, Caroline actually looks up, mildly surprised, before closing a tome, tucking it under her arm, and walking over to you.
See, it's Sunday. Everybody's just not doing anything. So yeah, let's approach her as well. Say, good morning.
Good morning. What brings you to the Healer's Den? Was something in the breakfast not quite becoming? Do you have an ailment?
Oh no, no, the breakfast was more than just good enough. I assure that. Well, I assure you. Oh, well, as you know, we did bring up that we were leaving, so I thought to come by and say my goodbyes to you personally.
She gives you a smile. Ah, well, thank you. It is good to be thanked as well as said goodbye to.
Well, of course, I mean, the Hillisdale was the first place I stopped by, and you helped me guide me around and give me some interesting reading material.
I'm glad it was interesting to you. And I'm also
Interesting.
glad that you have come. In general, I found talking with you to be quite enjoyable. And I won't lie, I was a little worried about what kind of a man DeLon might be and what kind of company he might travel around with. Uncle Bernard was quite honest about DeLon, perhaps, but it seemed extravagant. Knowing that he travels in the company of a holy man, and one who is quite calm and collected as yourself, was quite the boon.
Well, I'll say thank you for the compliment. But I'll just add that you've only seen me in a more favorable light, I suppose. I will see him think for a moment and say, if it was 2 months ago, no, but I'm not a bad influence on Dallin. If anything, it's the opposite.
You're saying that DeLon is a bad influence on you?
I mean, bad is that, well, bad in the way that I'm holding back on saying some things for his sake, for the sake of others. That's all.
I see. Well, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Sylviana teaches us to be quite kind, considerate, and understanding of others, which means that we must learn to bite our tongues quite more frequently than others.
See, that's the problem. Some things need to be said, but I can't. Simply can't. That's why.
Perhaps every once in a while you could test the waters and simply say what needs to be said anyways. If it goes poorly, you know that maybe you shouldn't do so quite so brazenly again. It can be fun to experiment with certain situations like that, especially when they're not of a life or death sort of variety.
Or rather, instead of food for thoughts, that I've been trying to correct my etiquette, so to speak. It is, well, my family were alive and saw me today, they'll probably laugh at some of the things I've done, but you know.
Is it not the responsibility of family members to laugh at one, especially when comparing one to their old self?
I ain't sure, but you know. Well,
She just gives you a grin.
they're all about like noble families and all. I'm like, I'm just a merchant. I have pedigree.
What's a pedigree? Is that something that I can eat?
All right. Yeah, that's cat food.
Neville, meanwhile, Tulio, cat food, where? Let's go, I haven't had this in forever. Oh, Chief, this is good stuff right here.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, well, I guess, yeah, there are the whole family, but that's like, like down side. I don't know about like her side of the family, noble or not. I know. I'll say once again, thank you for everything. And hopefully we'll meet again.
Yes, hopefully we will. These are troublesome times, and while some peace seems to have been returned to us as of late, it does worry me that such a tension could have arisen so quickly.
Yeah, well, these are troubling times anyway, and have been so for, I want to say, the past decade. It depends on when the powder keg will explode.
Yes. Just a matter of when the hornet's nest is going to come bursting forth.
Well, in the meantime, all we can really do is pray that never happens. Or
She
pray
gives you
it
a
doesn't
nod.
happen while we still live. Of course, I wouldn't want to wish that on my progenies, but
May peace continue to reign then. And during your travels, may Sylviana watch over you.
thank you. I suppose while you're within Lunaria, may Bridget watch over you.
She gives you an earnest smile and gives you a nod.
Yeah. I can't do very much the same, but give it one last nod. Say, well, now I think, much like the first day, I'll make my way to the Bridge of Amor and say my goodbyes as well.
Alrighty.
Have a nice day, I'll say.
She
Before
nods at
leaving.
you. Alrighty. So as Gildas goes to the Bridge of Amor, I'm gonna move over to Bub briefly.
I say goodbye to my therapy.
So Bub,
Yes.
it is currently morning. What is Bub getting up to?
All right. So, do I do the dress first or second? I know
I'd
Delon
say
was kind of
probably
involved.
do the dress second. Yeah, because Delon and Gildas would probably
Yeah.
want to
Okay.
be there.
So,
Well, I mean, first of all, we kind of have to make the dress
That
first,
too.
yeah.
It's not made yet.
oh,
All we have is like two bundles of spider silk. That's all we
There are
have.
2 bundles of spider silk and 5 very good quality flora to make like 2 or 3 dresses if we wanted. We've got plenty of excellent material.
all right. So, I'm just trying to think which order Bub would do it. I'm inclined to want to go say goodbye to the elementals first.
You
So
could
let's
do
go
that.
do that.
Alrighty. So Bub, you make your way out of the you make your way out of Delon's family home, and you make your way towards the lake where the elementals lay beneath it. So I imagine you turn into Roctopus to get into the lake area again?
Yeah.
Alright. So you turn into your Roctopus self, and you start swimming your way down into the temple to make your way there. As you make your way there, you actually notice that the small water elementals are not there. The one, like the 4 or 6 of them that would swarm you before,
Yeah.
or like kind of were on sentry, they're not there at all.
Okay.
As you make your way further in, you make your way, and where the large water elemental was before, it also doesn't seem to be there.
Hello?
As you get closer, you notice that the door that it was guarding is currently ajar. It looks like it's been
Uh-oh.
open for some time.
I'm gonna go in. Bub only hesitates for a moment before going in.
That's on brand for Bub. Alright, so Bub, you make your way in. As you do so, you find that the... Give me one moment. Change some music
Dang
real
it.
quick.
Somebody broke in? Man, I feel bad that I didn't do that now.
As you make your way inside, Bub, you find that the door here, the room inside, is filled with a lot of sediment. It's as if this door or this entrance has been undisturbed for centuries. You can also see that inside there are a handful of chests which seem to still be locked. You can also see that there is some piles of coin, but you can't tell what kind. They're covered in sediment, essentially.
Alright, I'm gonna look around to see if there's clues of movement in here.
Alright. Make me a perception roll.
Let me check if Octopus's perception's better than mine. I don't think it is, but... Octopus. Oh, it is, actually. There we go.
Very nice. So, as you look around, Bub, there's no movement in here. It's as if, even if this door has been ajar for some time, nothing has been in this room or disturbed it, despite how seemingly long this door has been open. You do notice that, inside this chamber is, as you're kind of swimming and looking around, half buried beneath all the sediment seems to be a rather large skeleton of some sort of large creature.
Can I tell what it is by looking at it?
It's mostly buried. It's kind of difficult to tell what it is at this time. There seem to be two large bony horns or something sticking out of the sediment, and some spines on its back or something.
Interesting.
It's quite big.
Yeah, so nobody seems to be there. Nobody's answered my call. So I guess I'm gonna investigate whatever this dead creature is first.
Alrighty. So, let's see. It's currently buried in a lot of sediment. So if you wanted to investigate, you either have to find a way to move some of the sediment, or try to guess what it is based off what its current features are.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a large creature that has a bunch of tentacles.
Yeah,
It shouldn't
so
be
would you
that
like to make
difficult.
like an athletics roll to do that or something?
Sure. Strength. No.
Doesn't the octopus get like benefits to athletics?
It doesn't have an athletic skill. No, it just has a strength score of 17.
Make a a tentacle attack roll then, I'd say.
Okay.
That's probably a better roll. Makes more sense.
I rolled the 1.
You had a wonderful sleep last night, bub.
Yeah, so I'm gonna like pull at it for a while and just give up and say, okay, I shouldn't be touching this anyways, and I'm gonna just look very closely at it.
All right, make a nature roll. I will say that when you made the 1 on it, you kind of like slammed your tentacles down on it by accident, which did disturb a lot of sediment. Alright, 17. With the disturbed sediment and like a crack that appeared on the creature when you slammed your tentacle down, um, you now with the 17, as you're looking at it, Bub, this is something that looks like a very large but dead dragon.
Oh no.
When you slam your tentacle down, several of the piles of coins, which were neatly stacked up, kind of like fall and slide down. As they do so, you see they shimmer and shine in differing kinds of shimmers. Like one seems to be golden, some are silver, some are copper. Some seem to shimmer in like a sort of a rainbow hue.
Hmm. Okay, and like approximately like how much of the room have I like swam across at this point?
This room is really big. It's a glorified immense treasure room.
Okay.
It has a decent amount of coins and some chests and stuff, but despite how large the room is, most of the treasure doesn't fill up the whole space of the room. It's centered around this beast, as if this beast pulled it all around itself in its last moments.
Hmm. I'm gonna look around the room and see if there's like evidence of a struggle or anything else I can find.
As you look around the room, Bub, you find that there are scratch marks on the walls. There are old, what seem to be like singed marks on the walls as well. You can
Hmm.
see that some of the ground seems to have like cracks or attempted burrow areas. There used to be like a chandelier on the ceiling, which is long since broken on the floor, and the point where the chandelier was is like scratched and burned at as well.
Hmm. Okay. Hmm. And I guess as I'm moving about the room, is there anything like a passage to another room, or does it seem to be isolated to just this one room?
As you look around, this is an incredibly isolated room. This is almost only has one entrance and one exit.
Hmm. Um, well, I've never tried this before, but I guess I could give it a shot. First things first, though. Would I know what the proper protocol is for dragon burial?
As a kobold, I'd say you'd know that most dragons want their bodies to essentially be um mostly undisturbed, but they want their bodies to become like a sanctity site. They don't want to really be buried, but they want their bones to remain, and they want the site to be treated as like a place of sanctuary or like or like a religious holy place, if you will.
Okay. Well, that gives me the answer that I need. So what I'm gonna do is, the room's like dirty,
Yes.
basically. I'm gonna clean it.
All right.
And I'm basically gonna like use my suckers and like pull in the nasty stuff. Uh and
All
like
right.
basically like balloon up.
So have Bub make like a roll from Bub's sheet to clean up.
Okay. Clean up, clean up. I don't know what to roll for clean up.
What do you think would Bub use to help clean?
Survival?
I could kind of see it. Yeah, I'll let you roll survival for that.
That's the only thing that remotely like makes sense.
All right. So you spend some time cleaning up this little place, like making some of the sediment less like piled up and like Mariana's Trench looking.
Yeah.
Um, as you begin to clean it up, you notice that the walls are actually have murals on them. So they're damaged because whatever, assumingly the dragon lashed out at them or destroyed them at some point. But they were beautiful murals. Most of them seem to show dragons looking up at the moon.
Hmm.
You also, as you're cleaning, I will say that in the very center of this room, you find that there is a tree that has been that is long since dead, but despite being dead, its leaves still are like leafy and looking healthy, even if the tree is dead. And it is surrounded by like what looks like a garden of some sort. The rocks have been disturbed and the tree has been knocked over and broken down.
Okay. Can I let's see. I'm not sure. Can I make any? So first things first. I'm gonna try to read all the murals, but first I want to look over the mural real quick to see if there's anything that would indicate the proper formation of the tree and the rocks and such to see if I can restore it.
Hmm. So, there actually is some stuff on the murals that you can easily tell how the tree would look if it were not destroyed.
Cool. All right, so I'm gonna go restore the tree in the sense that like it's upright and put together as it should be.
Alright. So as you do so, the tree seems it's still dead, but you notice, despite there not being a current in the room, the leaves on the tree almost seem to blow in the wind, even though there's no current in the water here.
Hmm.
You also feel the water around you almost seem to take a breath of fresh air. As if nature around you feels like it just took a sigh of relief when the tree was restored.
Cool. All right. Next step. I'm gonna try to see if I can communicate with it. If I cannot, I would like to imbue it with some druidic power.
Alright. So, you attempt to communicate with it. Make a nature roll.
Nature. 21.
You don't get, as you attempt to communicate with it, you don't get any, like, words or thoughts back. You basically hear cries of pain.
Okay. Well, let's try it. I'm gonna try to like imbue it with druidic power.
Alright. Make another nature roll.
Okay. Nature. 17. That's an average roll for me.
It is actually. So with the 17, um, you imbue it with some of your druidic power. You see as the bark that is kind of like barely keeping it together almost seems to like stitch itself back, and the cries of pain slowly dim away before stopping. You see that the tree seems healthier, but it still seems like it's dead, even if it seems also partially alive. As when the tree is restored as well, by the way, um, you actually hear coins shift behind you, bub.
Okay. All right. I'll turn around.
As you turn around, uh, the bony skeleton is gone.
What? Like, does it look like it moved?
It does. It looks like whatever it either left, got up and left, or it just isn't there. The coins have been
Hello?
moved, like even the coins that were stacked up around it are displaced, like they fell and slid down. Like it stood up and left.
That's not good. Um. Yeah, and there's no answer.
No.
Um. Hmm. Maybe I should have shut the door behind me, but that would have been too risky. Let's see. I'm not sure if I'd be allowed to do this, but I'm willing to like burn spell slots to try to like energize the tree more, if that makes sense.
I'd allow it. You need to make a nature roll, and if you how many spell slots you burned would determine like the DC. The more spell slots, like the less difficult it would
Yeah.
be.
Let's see. So I'm willing to burn. Let's see. I have to actually think about this a bit. I'm gonna burn 2 level 3 spell slots. I'm gonna burn 4 level 1 spell slots. I'm gonna burn 2 level 2 spell slots, and I'm gonna keep my level 4.
So, you channel a rather substantial amount of druidic energy into the tree.
Come
Um,
on.
as you roll, make a 22. As you do so, you see as the tree, the bark completely stitches itself back together, and there is a pulse of nature energy in the room. As the tree blooms before your very eyes, and the sediment around you is pushed back by the pulse of nature energy. The tree is also shimmering and lighting up the room. As soon as it does so, by the way, you can see a bony, draconic head with glowing eyes in the watery darkness behind the tree is looking down at you.
Yeah, so remember, I have telepathy now, and
You do.
I can speak any language I know with telepathy.
Yep.
So I'm gonna like reach out in Draconic and say, "Hello, is this your place?"
You see as something seems to kind of slither around you, and you notice that the creature has wrapped its bony tail around you, and it is kind of
Hello.
like positioned in like a curled defensive gesture around the tree.
Yeah, and I say, "Hello, my name is Bub, Moon Druid, and emissary to the Blue Dragon. I saw that this place had been ransacked and desecrated, so I'm doing my best to try to restore it. That's why I gave, well, most of my spells to the tree. What happened here? You are a great dragon."
The dragon kind of tilts its head at you for a moment. It seems to be staring not at you, but into you. Eventually, as it's holding you in its tail, you see it bring up a bony claw that glows with nature energy before it gently taps your forehead, Bub.
Cool.
Um,
Yeah, I'll allow it.
alright. So, as it gently taps your forehead, the nature energy that it had on its claw is pushed into you. As a bunch of images begin flashing through your head, rapid fire. Um, it's difficult to interpret, they're going by so fast.
But Bub is very wise.
He is. Would you like to try to interpret these messages?
Yeah, how does that work?
You could make an insight roll, or you could attempt, like a will save or something like that if you wanted.
20?
Very
I'm
nice.
not sure if I get advantage or not, but 20.
You actually do get advantage because this is nature-based.
Nature. But yeah,
That's why I
insight's one of my
listened. I was
best
like,
skills.
damn.
I just don't use it that much, but it's one of my best skills, yeah. The problem is nature's actually intelligence based, which is why it isn't as good.
Alrighty, so with a 27, Bub, it starts off with an image of a bunch of what look like really tall, lanky elves standing around what looks like an old temple as they kind of like offer their hands up towards the moon. They're gathered around the very tree you restored. Um, Something seems to come down from the ceiling as they do so, and it's a rather majestic looking dragon. That seems to be. It's unfortunately difficult to make out what color or what it all of its most of its features, but it is majestic looking. As it comes down from the ceiling, as they offer a prayer up towards the moon, it seems to spread its wings, and you notice that there was something. There's like the memories flash, and they seem to like rush rapid fire, in the distance where a rather an army of undead is marching in towards the temple's direction with a black sort of like sandstorm behind them. As the dragon spreads its wings out, a barrier is erected, sort of like a force field, around the temple grounds, and the skeletons disintegrate on contact with it as the black sandstorm comes up over it and completely covers it, but cannot pierce it. It flashes multiple sentries of the dragon just standing there with its wings out, and as the sentries go by, its majestic scales either fade, crack, or deteriorate away, eventually leading to the people closing the door. An elf that looks similar to the others, but he seems to have almost draconic-looking eyes, looking sorrowfully towards the room where the dragon has its wings spread out, before closing the door. The next memories that flash by you, Bub, are of the dragon doing everything in its power to escape this room, unintentionally destroying the tree, scraping all the murals, trying everything it can as it just lashes out to leave for several hundred years before it gathered all of its goods, all of its treasure around itself, and dying.
Shit.
It seemed to have gone through a period of mania. When it was lashing out, it looked no longer majestic. It was like drooling. It seemed crazy.
I see. So Bub, he seems kind of sad, and his octopus like suckers like whirl in a little bit, like they're wilted because he's sad. And then he's gonna think, I see. That's very sad. You were just doing your job. There were elementals that were protecting this place while you were gone, whom I befriended. But they're gone, and the door that they were guarding to this place was open. Has somebody else come here before me?
The skeleton actually looks towards the door, and it rises up as if like completely surprised as it looks at the door. It then looks down at you and shakes its head.
Bub thinks, okay. Well, is your power connected to this place? Are you able to leave?
It nods, and then it shakes its head.
Bub thinks and he says, is there anything I could do to help you restore your power so you can leave?
It seems to think for a moment. As it it puts you back down on the ground, unwrapping its tail from you.
Okay.
As it thinks, it eventually taps your forehead again, and it imparts a name to you. Moonshaper.
Oh. I know of him. Is he your master?
It shakes his head, and it imparts more knowledge to you. You have an understanding that Moonshaper and this dragon had an almost familial type of relationship. The dragon imparting much of its druidic knowledge to Moonshaper.
Oh. I want to try to do the thing.
There is also an immense sadness as it describes this, as you also now become aware that Moonshaper was the one who closed the door. As the dragon seems to consider the door closing as a weird betrayal, and it seems hurt by the action.
I think about it, and then I think about the tree, and then I think about this dragon. And Bub starts to put pieces together, and he says, well, let's see if I could do that. I'm gonna try to do what it's doing. I'm not sure if I can, but I'm gonna give it a shot because I do have telepathy. It might be possible to communicate, basically like what I learned about Moonshaper last session.
Hmm.
But we were able to like, get some of its knowledge. Maybe this dragon could actually help us decode some of his stuff. I think it's just risky as hell, but I think it would be worth it overall. So I'm gonna give it a shot.
All right. Let's see. Make. Hmm.
Telepathy.
Make an Arcana roll, I'd say.
Oh no. I don't have Arcana. 11. Let me actually look at the. Here, I'm gonna click on telepathy. Just in case. Um. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about images or not, so it's really your call.
Yeah. That's why I'm leaving it up to Arcana, is if you wish to transport a full image in clarity, it's up to your ability to be able to have mastery over your telepathy to do so, I would say.
Yeah, that makes sense. So
So,
I'll. Hmm.
with an 11, I'd say you're able to, instead of giving like perfect details to it, you can maybe give some vague details, or like enough for it to kind of understand that you know some things about him.
Yeah, I'll like explain it to him like through words because that doesn't require a check. But yeah, in terms of the images, yeah, that's all I could do.
Alrighty. So the dragon, the bone dragon here seems to listen attentively before nodding, and it seems still sad, but it doesn't seem quite as hurt. It seems understanding. It seems to know why he did it now.
Yeah, so I think he wanted to protect you.
The dragon actually seems to nod.
Well, that means that you were really important to him, and well, he made the ultimate sacrifice to save the land against the blight that I'm trying to combat. So, well, if there's anything you could do to help us with that, and I try to like communicate to him like what I'm doing, and he says, I'm nowhere near as strong as Moonshaper was, but I am a moon druid.
It seems to think for a moment on how it could assist you. Eventually, um, seems to it seems to reach an idea as it kind of unwraps itself from around the tree defensively and moves somewhere deeper into the chamber. You hear some gold kind of like fall down and crash. You hear like a box like crack under its bony foot, but eventually it comes back with something. It opens its bony hand and offers it to you.
All right, I'll take it in a tentacled hand.
As you take this in a tentacled hand, bub, you find that it's like it's actually a rather sizable crystal of nature magic or nature energy of some sort. It's just like the shard that you found outside that you put in the doll for Uluru, but bigger.
Oh,
It's
cool.
actually like the shard that was outside came from this.
You gotta make that into a staff, buddy.
Hmm. Thank you. I'm gonna look at the tree, and then I'm gonna look at the dragon. And I got kind of silly idea, and I say, the tree seems to feed off nature energy. I know lots of places that have powerful nature energy. Bub thinks about it and it says, is your life force connected to the tree? I noticed you moved after I revived it.
It seems to think for a moment before slowly shaking its head.
Huh?
it communicates to you that the pulse of nature energy uh, recombined its soul with its body.
Hmm. I do have a friend that might be able to help with the situation. But I'm not sure how bueno that would be with the dragon.
Yeah, the dragon communicates to you, Bub, that before the pulse of nature magic, its soul was kind of like scattered about in several pieces throughout this chamber.
I see. Hmm.
Another thing of note while you're looking at it, Bub, is that the bones have lots of cracks in them, and the cracks are riddled with like a bit of a blackish substance that seems to go all the way down into the marrow.
So, do I know what it is? Uh,
You don't, but it is foul. Whatever it is a very foul, like, destructive substance.
what's that?
It seems confused until you point it out. Kind of tilts its head at itself, and then it holds like its arm up. Then it kind of like its other arm, and it looks over itself. It seems confused at these cracks of blackish uh, substance that run through its body.
Hmm. Oh, this is a hard one. I don't know why you're able to move. I think it's a blessing, but I want to be able to help you. Oh, I know. Well, how about you tell me more about this tree? It seems like you and the elves were protecting it. But I mean, uh, what what's the function of the tree? Maybe I can keep giving it my energy.
The dragon imparts onto you, Bub, knowledge that this tree um, was here before the temple was.
Hmm.
It also imparts onto you that the tree serves as like a kind of like the crystals of King's Landing and Canes, the divine like crystals which serve as like teleportation crystals as well as like natural protection sigils. This tree serves as
Wow.
something similar, but for this area.
Wow. Um, okay. Is there a way that I can restore it without I mean, I know places that have lots of druidic energy, but I'd have to take it out of here.
The dragon seems to shake its head as you think about restoring it, and it kind of gestures around to all the water before shaking its head.
I noticed that the water was energized. Does that mean that it needs to be inside the water?
It shakes its head. It gestures to the water again, um, and it essentially gestures fully around the room. And as it does so, you have a flicker of one of its old memories, as it basically reveals that this whole place used to be above the ground, above the water's surface.
Oh.
You gotta drain the swamp.
Um, Bub's gonna think and says, "Well, that's hard. I don't know if I could do that on my own. I could turn to a big whale, but that's only for an hour at a time." Hmm. Bub thinks about it and says, "I'm gonna point towards the murals that were scratched," and he says, "Well, at the very least, can I help you restore these?"
It seems to think for a moment before nodding. It seems willing to accept your aid on that.
Cool. Okay, I'm just gonna help it do that for like as much as possible.
Alright. So you spend the remainder of some time here, not all day, but a decent chunk of the day, helping to restore some of the murals with it.
Cool.
It does actually make a notable effort to assist you in this as well. It doesn't just let you
Nice.
do all the work.
Cool.
Let's see. Before I segue away, I will describe that as it's working with you, it seems to take periodic moments to scratch at its bones, as if like the black substance is like a rash or something. It doesn't
Well, too
seem
bad I
fully
don't have
aware
any
it's
healing
doing
spells.
it.
Yeah, so I do have a weird thing I could do. I could try to polymorph it. Like, but that's like my last ditch idea. I'll have to think about what I'm gonna do next for it.
But alrighty. As Bob does that with the dragon, the bone dragon down here, I'm gonna move back to Delon.
Well, I think it's time I should probably find Harkin.
Alright.
Yep.
So, with the map having been gained, you begin looking around, making your way looking for Harkin.
I'm assuming he's back at the tavern.
As you make your way around, you check the tavern, and sure enough, Harkin's here. Move the map real quick.
Delon will approach and say with a bit of a smile, "It's a good thing you're consistent. I'd never be able to find you."
Oh, of course. I find keeping to a schedule, Delon, a daily schedule, is quite beneficial, especially once you reach my age. Without it, I'd probably wander indefinitely with no rhyme or purpose, and then be confused when it's already evening.
Is that so?
Aye.
Mind if I join you?
No, not at all. Take a seat. Let me order you a brandy.
If you wish.
Please, I insist.
I'll take one.
So you see as Harkin raises a hand up, and eventually the goblin comes over. It seems to already, before he even asks for a brandy, put a brandy beside him. He nods, tosses a few gold coin at the goblin. Get another one. Eh? Not for myself. It's not Good Friday yet. Oh, get one for my friend Alon. Oh, okay. And the goblin rushes off and comes back rather quickly with another brandy.
Thank you.
Now then, what brings you in my neck of the woods?
Truthfully, I have something I've been delaying for some time. And I could use your help in it, if I'm being honest.
Well, I might be able to assist you depending on what it is.
Before I ask, I'm going to preference it that I know this is not a subject you want to speak on. I truly do. And I don't know the circumstances for which come to this. But there were some things in the meeting that didn't go well. Delon actually will take out a little piece of paper and he will show a weapon. He's like, do you recognize this?
Harkin, with his pipe in his mouth, simply inhales and blows smoke out of his nose. You see his eyes that were looking at the paper just kind of slide up as he looks up at you for a moment. Doesn't say a word.
I guess the one will let speak up. I can't imagine what is going on in your mind. I can't imagine what would make you not to do so, but there are things in that room I didn't say. Things that I didn't detail because I didn't want more fear to go in. It's not just a Black Dragon incident. I fought someone using this kind of a weapon. My lady was very specific on this. As if she knew about it. Not much detail on it, but she did. And normally I would not bring it up. I would not hesitate to do so. But I'm running out of options, Hawken. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to find information, and the more I learn about this Black Dragon, the more I realize how much advantage he has. I'm going in this blind. I need some answers. And if you can't give me the answers, I understand. Then at least point me in the right direction. But if it makes it feel easier, I do have something you might be interested in exchange. Something that would intrigue you.
So Harkin seems, he actually takes another long drag of his pipe.
Mhm.
And as he billows it out again through his nose, it's much more similar to a dragon who's just his smog or flames are kind of rolling around the room. Despite the fact that Harkin may not be a dragon himself, part of you can't help but be a little intimidated. But he doesn't seem to strike out at you. He's not aggressive. He simply, as he does this, looks you dead in the eyes.
Mhm.
Dralon, my boy, there's some information that even a man, even a scholar, shouldn't seek out. Some things are best left not learned.
I agree with that sentiment, but a lot of people are relying on me. My patriots. And I need to know something. Something to combat him. Or else all this will be for nothing.
Harkin
As I said,
seems. Oh, go ahead.
as I said before, I am willing to trade information for it, not just doing so, and I wouldn't bring it up if I didn't think it was important.
Harkin closes his eyes. He takes another few puffs, long puffs on his pipe,
Mhm.
as he kind of tilts his head for a moment and opens his eyes at you again. The eyes are very serious, type of gaze you've almost never seen from Harkin. In all
Mhm.
your time around him, he's never been this dead serious. What kind of information? Don't tell me all of it. Just tell me what it is, and I'll see if it's worth trading this for. From one scholar to another.
Dylan will say very plainly, there has been rumors of sent ages past that your brown dragon and the purple dragon, the gold and the silver, were surprisingly 4, where history has shown a consistency of perhaps 5.
Harkin
What
mumbles
if I?
under his breath.
Mhm.
Always 5.
What do you say? Sorry.
He mumbles under his breath. Always 5.
Always 5. What if I know? Is it what if the rumor of the? Is it what if the rumor of what happened to the 5th dragon isn't a rumor? In that clutch.
So then you're telling me that you have information on the missing dragon of the Third Age.
I am.
Pardon me, dear boy.
Mhm.
I will return momentarily. He
Hmm.
rises when without a word makes his way over to the bar counter. He seems to share a word, and you see as he reaches into his cloak and deposits quite a hefty bag of coin on the counter. The barkeep seems to surprised, thinks for a moment, but nods, and he kind of snaps his fingers, takes the bag of coin, and the goblin and him actually leave the building. You actually hear the door lock, so it's just you and Harkin. Alright then, Delon. I'll accept the trade. So you're a noble man of King's Landing. I'll tell you my part first, so I know I can trust you to tell me yours. Before I give you this, though, know that simply knowing this information could put your very life in jeopardy.
Delon exhales for a moment and says, "All due respect, Harkin. My life's been in danger from the very start." I mean
As
to
is
see
any
it through.
man's life, when he ceases to be a boy, becomes a man.
Hi. Mm-hmm.
Harkin reaches into his, he actually takes some of tobacco that was in his current pipe, and he empties it out. He reaches into his, cloak, and you actually see him thumb through several different tobacco pieces before finding one. One specific one. He doesn't have much of it, but he has some of it. And he puts a little, not a lot, only like a tiny single bit of it in the pipe. He blows a single flame into it before he takes a puff and exhales. This tobacco smoke is not unlike the rest. It has a certain smell. It's an acidic, acrid smell, like ash or smoke mixed with volcanic acidity, like acid rain or the smell of burning blood or something similar to that. It's just a acrid, acidic, horrible smell. The smoke that he blows out of his nose from it has a bit of a green hue to it. Almost a green, but black at the edges. Harkon seems to have a faraway look as he doesn't seem to be looking at you. He's more looking, perhaps, at another time, another place. I had been taking a boat, hired in a group of well-armed individuals. I knew that the journey would be tough, but I couldn't stop the curiosity. There's something in Sovereign. Something happened there. More than perhaps was told, and I needed to take a look myself. I was a scholar, after all. This was to be one of the most noble of scholarly pursuits. Hired only the best. Obtained a small, swift vehicle. Swift ship. One that could sail the ocean faster than any other. Marvel of its kind, the first of its kind. Based off sovereign designs. sailed to Sovereign. And before we'd even reached Sovereign's coast, we were still far bombed. We saw that smog had started to fill the sky. The air began to burn to breathe. It hurts. Some of the men, smokers, began to cough into their neckerchiefs, their bandanas. Blood. Coughing blood. The air had a poison to it, or a harshness. We had barely reached the island. We weren't even near it. Some were worried at that. They'd never been this close before. We pushed on. We covered our faces, dipped them in fresh, clean water, ingested antivenoms we had prepared. We knew of the acidic nature. We pushed on. As we made our way closer to the shore, we saw that the water turned black. The beach itself was not the white, almost golden beaches of Sovereign. The once pristine, beautiful sands had turned like black ash. The sands themselves had burned and crystallized into sharp shards of putrid poison. We made our way, got off the boat. As my feet landed, I winced. There was blood. I was bleeding. My scales, they were pierced instantly. For the sand was indeed a glassy substance. So sharp that even the men beneath me winced. Their steel boots, they could not protect them from these shards either. The shards cracked and shattered incredibly loudly beneath our feet. Already on edge, we made our way quickly to a hiding space, a small alcove, as we saw a black bat-like creature with blade-like wings fly immediately overhead. It cried a cry. It caused the men around me to grab their heads in pain. And as it tried to find us, it circled, crying again as the men forced themselves to stay quiet lest they reveal their location. Before it seemed to circle and fly away. The men begged me, "Let's leave, Hawken. Let's leave. We've seen enough. This place is no longer Sovereign. It's something different." I told them we were nearly there. Just a bit further. Just a bit further. We found our way to a cave-like temple. I remembered this place. It was once a temple where paladins, mighty knights of Sovereign trained and were anointed. This golden hall had been turned into a chamber of depravity. We saw little creatures wandering, their eyes like white snow. Veins without blood ran through their eyes. We could not see. Perhaps they could not see. They didn't seem to even notice us. They just wandered. If we stood in their path, they'd bump into us and attempt to continue as if they had no will of their own. We decided not to bother these creatures as they were harmless, and we didn't wish to push our luck by disturbing clearly some sort of order that had been put in place. We made our way and I found it. I found the chamber I'd been seeking. As I began reading, collecting, I dared not copy the tomes of Sovereign. I simply collected them, took as many as I could. One of the men. What happened to Eos? I looked behind me. We were a man down. Another one said the same thing. What happened to Boros? His brother had gone now. one by one, as we began to realize we'd been missing ones along the way. This entire time, as we traveled further, we'd lost men we didn't notice. I heard a boom as something came crashing in our direction slowly. It knew we had nowhere to go. I closed the tome, looked at the remaining 3 men that I'd brought. Only 3? Only 3 left. Let us leave! Fly! Return to the boat at once! We got what we came for. If we make it all out of here alive, I'll pay you double. No, triple. One man invoked the name of Faust, begging for him to guide him, so that his time did not come at a premature time. He did not come prematurely. Harkin seems to be gripping his pipe very tightly now.
Mm.
Suddenly, a black clawed hand gripped him and squeezed him so tight he exploded. We ran. We did not turn back. I dropped some tomes along the way. Muttered some spells to hide us. We made our way to the beach again. Our vessel of sovereign maid, it had men, strange men wielding weapons of sovereign. They had armor, not like sovereign, more of King's Landing upon their person. They looked around as if wondering who could have sailed this sovereign ship to their shores. They spoke Draconic. I told the men, stay here, I'll distract them. As I approached them, I attempted to talk to them, to perhaps beguile them. They did not listen, and I was forced to defend myself. A battle partook at that point, and as most of the vessel was destroyed, we sailed the remaining parts, myself casting spells to boost us along the way. It was only then that I noticed that my scales, they had turned a bit of a blackish hue. The sharpness, the hardness they once had, they'd been falling out this entire time. The men, their hair was gone. They looked bald, old, sickly. The young, strapping men that I once had with me were now weak, as if frail and sickly. As we continued to leave, the storm clouds above the island crackled with lightning, and that's when I saw him. A beast bigger than any I'd ever witnessed, large enough to dwarf Cain's, rose up from the mountains of Sovereign. He spread his wings and roared. Green lightning crackled in those clouds. Ever since, dark forces find me when I rest. Occasionally, cloaked figures swarm my camps. Every once in a while, I find figures in my home looking through my tomes. When I kill them, they simply turn to black dust, shards of crystalline black substances. Harkin, you see as the tobacco in Harkin's pipe has, basically the flame has gone out.
Mm-hmm.
Harkin simply holds his pipe in his mouth, staring off into the distance.
One quiet for a little while. Takes a swig of brandy, and then asks clearly, What did you gain, Hagen?
Harkin blinks as if snapping awake from a trance. What did I gain from this?
You took such a risk to go all the way there. Did you gain anything?
No. The tomes I'd gathered were destroyed by the time we'd made landfall. Caked in waters of the ocean, burned by the acidic air of the island itself. The information I'd wanted so badly was pointless at the end. And for my troubles, those men died very young. And myself, haunted by shadowy figures for the remainder of my days.
The beings that spoke Draconic. That's where I know that weapon from. I fought one of them.
Very resilient, aren't they?
Worryingly so. Seems I was hardly doing anything to them at all.
You were doing something. Simply that they were also recovering from what you were doing to them.
Mhm.
If you ever met a troll boy, their wounds stitch back immaculately. They have regenerative purposes to them. Yet though, when struck with fire, they combust instantly. Very similar to a troll, but instead of fire, I found nothing that could overcome that such of effect.
Actually, I don't even think that Delon didn't have any radiance by the time he used it. He never actually tried. I don't know if Gildas used radiance against them. He must have. But either or, Delon nods. And that's what so that's what we're up against.
His lair is the closest thing that I can imagine as hell on this earth, Delon. I once found a way to scry into his land. I did. Couldn't help myself. I wanted to know what was the extent of his influence on Sovereign. And I saw an entire army of those creatures, just a handful of them, proved troublesome for myself. Yet there was armies of them. Several hundred, perhaps thousands. They marched through the halls and the roads of Sovereign as if everyday people, as if nothing was awry with the poisonous, disastrous landscape within which they resided, as if it was all natural to them.
How do we combat such a thing?
I've spent many an age, many a time, thinking on this law. I do not know. I had prepared myself for the old Black Dragon when I arrived, for what I assumed his power was. The antivenom should have worked. We shouldn't have been affected by such an acidic aura. We should have already been coughing blood when we arrived. My scales should not be falling out just from a few hours on the island.
Tell me, Hackett, what was he very shadowy? Was his form full?
He was larger than before. Perhaps doubly so. The largest dragon I'd ever witnessed. larger than even the brown. He was the largest that I'd seen till then. He seemed to
Harken.
radiate a bit of an aura, if you will.
God.
Wisps of acidic smoke wafted off his form. When he spread his wings, the storm clouds grew lighter.
Harkin can see Delon getting paler, as he may know something.
Harkon gives a rather morose chuckle. My boy, looks like you've seen a ghost. There's a
Wow.
figure behind me. I'd appreciate it if you let me know.
No, but I think when I extend my end of the bargain, you'll understand a bit of my fear. Delon takes out a little book. But as for my end, I present to you the missing dragon.
Going to change the music real quick again.
Hmm?
Harkin reaches a clawed hand out and gingerly takes your book from you. Turns it over and looks at it. He grabs his glass of brandy and takes a sip from it. I know this dragon.
You do.
I've spoken to him, but not as he is now.
He gave me time to stencil the work. I hope the details to your liking.
It's very well done. Was he truly more tree than dragon?
Aye, he is. There's no
Miraculous.
mistaking him.
And he succeeded.
He also possesses great fey magic.
Ron, have you ever heard of a concept known as ascension?
Delon gets pale again.
Take that as a
Yes, I have.
yes.
Yes, I have.
It's hard to mistake this dragon. It's just not necessarily his posture, but it's his eyes. I remember those eyes. You can tell a man by his eyes. Eyes are the windows to the soul.
Hmm.
He was an emerald dragon once. Came to my brown dragon. I was there that day. He wandered in, surprisingly respectful, and asked to speak with the brown. They spoke for many days and nights. And when he left, he thanked him very politely. Strange for the brown to accept such an audience. He was usually much more private. Did not like to be disturbed.
Hmm.
That day he accepted.
The forest dragon said he learned ascension from your brown dragon.
So that is what they spoke of. I had assumed it. I had guessed. Surprised that he succeeded.
He said it was a exceedingly painful, laborious, exhaustive measure, but it was worth it for the taste of divinity.
It does change the dragon. A lot. Some of their personality might change. Some of their likes or dislikes might change. They might be, but it's an enhancement of themselves, really.
Hmm.
Think Think of a. It's not really correct to compare a dragon to an insect, but think of it like a pupa going through metamorphosis. It comes out as a butterfly or perhaps a moth.
Yeah.
Very similar. They shed one skin for another.
We had met him in our journey into the Feywilds, not too far from the Naya. He lives in an old tree trunk with a tree in the middle of it. Be careful, however. He has Fey magic resounding around him. If your will isn't strong, you'll be immediately afflicted with something. I should know. I was turned into a rabbit at one point.
I'm sorry, Lilon. It's humorous to imagine you as a rabbit.
Wasn't as humorous when we fought him.
No, I imagine not.
There's talking between you and me.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I'll let you go.
Harkon actually retrieves a map from his person, and he puts it on the table. Tell me, could you perhaps point in the cardinal direction?
What the one recalls, he'll point in the general direction. Past the elm, the ants, and a river with skeletons in it, from kappas. Past the spiders, and past the flower, the oak, alone,
Oh, so
deeper into the wood.
I know what that is. Thank you. He actually rolls up the map, puts it away again. Secret to the Feywild is that the locations in the Feywild themselves don't change. The order of their appearance does. Things in the Feywild tend to stay the same, but where they are shifts constantly.
I see. I will say this, Hawken. I don't know if he is the dragon you thought he was before. I have not been as terrified as I was speaking to him. Not since I felt the presence of the black.
He always had a bit of a Machiavellian personality.
It seems to have increased over time. He's very sure of himself. He was amused by us.
I imagine so. If he succeeded, very little that would bother him in those woods, much less yourselves.
It's the reason for the green trick, by the way.
I see. Yes, that makes sense. I'll pay him a visit, perhaps. Feywild willing.
If you do, bring something and ask permission for everything. He got very angry at me when I started drawing, and it wasn't until I immediately stopped and apologized that, as if on a dime, as if at the turn of a coin, he was calm again.
Yes, I quite get that. I know precisely how to handle him now. Thank you. Saved me quite some trouble.
Of course. Thank you for the information. I know how difficult it was to part with it, but it needs me to realize what I'm up against. And it also concludes what I've been fearing. I think the Black Dragon has ascended. Well, it's so close, it's nearing indistinguishable. There's only one way to combat the dragon now.
kind
Only
of
what the kings
gods.
will. Aye, and the touch of divinity. But we have time. Fortunately, we do have time, so I best get to it. And thank you for the information.
Of course. Is there anything else that you wish to speak to me about? I'm going to be making a pilgrimage to a place I have not been in some time.
And what is that?
The Gith Caves. Something there that I wish to speak with one more time.
I see.
She knows much.
She?
Yes, she. She's a very, very, very old and powerful lady.
Hmm. Perhaps on my return, we might pay a visit.
If you do,
Hmm.
be courteous. The Gith are unwelcoming to those that are unwilling to accept their ideas. They're very, very social, kind, and accepting. Just very judgmental.
I've experienced that already.
If you've met the Enclave, you've very much met much of the Gith. But the Gith are more social, more caring. I prefer their company, personally. They're also very scholarly. Very interesting to talk with them for hours, compare notes. But if you do head that way, ask to speak to their lady. Find it very enlightening.
I'll consider it. Harkin, now that I know about the brown dragon, if I may ask, may I perhaps go and visit? And pay my respects.
I don't see why not. Oh, you're gonna have to go quite deep. It's gonna be a bit of a trek to get to his lair. But,
What is that?
my only request is that you do not disturb any of the burials.
You know I wouldn't.
You would not. The traveling companions, on the other hand.
Fair enough. Alright. I will make that very clear on with them.
I'm quite
Delon
sure
will
you're
finish his rant.
prepared for the Majesty. However.
See. I will try to do so. Delon will begin to stand up, and as he's beginning to walk away, he actually pauses it. How can I like to say something?
Harkin looks up, remains seated, and just looks at you without a word.
You've been very kind to me. I was a young and adventurous knight, and I boasted over to you and asked you questions, and you were very kind and willing to answer my questions. And more so than that, you respected me, and I know you didn't have to. So, truth is that I deeply respect you, not only as a scholar but as a friend. And I'm sorry what ailments you've suffered because of it, but I know you didn't have to do any of the good things that you did, so I want you to know that I noticed and I care. I don't know if we'd meet again, so thought I'd say that now, in case I never did. You've been a good enough friend to me that I could have asked for. I hope I have for you.
Harkin gives you a fairly honest smile. And he actually stands up. Come on, my boy. You've been a pleasure to instruct and to compare notes with. Keep doing that, by the way. Say things as you should. You may never get the chance to do it again.
I will. Take care, Harkin. And should I learn more about other newer studies, I'll be sure to bring it to your attention.
Thank you. I'll do the same for you. Harkin takes his pipe, puts it back in his mouth, and offers you a handshake.
I accept the handshake. And with that, I'm going to walk out, and let's say time.
Alright. So as you walk out, you see that the tavern keeper and the goblin are kind of like sitting outside. When the door opens, the tavern keeper stands up. Is your business finished?
Yes, gentlemen. Thank you for your consideration.
Oh, good. Come on then, back to work. Aw, break's over. Yeah, break's over. Back to work. Come on. We got patrons to serve, and food to make, and tables to clean. And glasses to clean? Yeah, that. As they walk inside and you walk down the steps, you can't help but hear, "What is that putrid stench?" Sorry about that. And as you continue on your way, I'm going to move over back to Gildas. Alrighty, so Gildas. Not wrong.
One of these days, Gildas is gonna have the serious plot. One of these days.
I mean, this is unfortunately not the place for it. But yes.
No, it comes
Can
soon,
be.
but not quite yet.
Yeah.
Just a guy casually walking goes, "That's our
The
feet."
Nebulum extermination arc.
I mean, it's all a good time, you know?
I loved your comment. I'm like, "Dear Bridget, please teach me how to slit an atom." Hugs and kisses, Gildas.
Yeah, man. Just enjoying my youth while I still can. I'll have like some artificial age extender. It would be really nice. But, you know,
Yeah. Hey, man. If it works for you, man, works for you.
yeah. Anyway.
Alrighty.
To visit my doctor? Well, we'll just have to wait for the other two to finish their serious business so we can work on them dresses and then, you know, do the work.
Alrighty, so Gildas, you make your way up from the temple, the healer's den, across the bridges, and make your way over towards the bridge of Amor, where you find the temple itself. As you approach it, you find that there's still a line out, as there seems to always be some sort of a perpetual line. And as you take up like a position in the line for a moment, you see as a familiar face actually comes from the side and gives you a bit of a playful look. Well then, what brings you back here so quickly?
Well, actually, not here for counseling today.
Ah, excellent.
Well, See, truth is, we'll be leaving soon, so I thought I might just come by and say my goodbyes to you.
Goodbyes. Leaving so soon.
Well, hold on, I just did something with my mouse wheel, like, oh shit, actually, it's actually nice. It feels like a real mouse wheel, not just like, I don't know what I just did, but yeah. Yeah, leaving so soon, I mean, I've been staying for a week by now, right? Or was it 2 weeks? And we've stayed a fair amount of time, I think.
Fair enough. It's just that usually when travelers come to the city of Lunaria, they stay for quite a while. Maybe a few months, sometimes they stay forever.
Well, that is me. We do have a schedule to follow, so while we would enjoy this possibility for that long, we don't really have the time to do so.
Ah, I see. Men of business, always so eager to rush off towards the next endeavor.
Well, excluding the possibility of coming back one day, but I gotta travel the land of Canes, after all.
Yes. Memory serves, you said this was simply one location of many that you intend to travel to.
Indeed.
She gives you a rather playful smile and holds up a finger. Well then, do me one favor. The next time you're in Lunaria, pay me a visit. Maybe not for a consultation, but perhaps just for a meetup.
Well, why not? Hey, there's quite a well. You're one of those people that, you know, I would like to spend more time with, just don't really have the time for it. Especially when you invite yourself to a political meeting you weren't supposed to attend.
Ah,
Well, you
do
know.
I have you to thank for much less hubbub and buzzing around this area?
Well, I did help push things around, but it was a collaborative effort.
A collaborative effort of pushing things and perhaps people around.
Mhm. Wow. It's not completely sorted out, but it's getting there.
That's good. Pleases me immensely that much of the tension that has been in the air up until now has already begun to fade away.
Well, I'd say you've played part of it a little bit. I mean, I think going to you, the counseling I received, just helped me, I don't know, make up my mind on certain things. That played a small part in what I decided to say in the meeting. Possibly.
She gives you a smile and actually gives like a gentle bow. I am glad to have been of service.
Actually, that's also the reason why I came today, was to thank you for all that. I did kind of ramble on, but I've been thinking the past few days, and I think I got a clear course set now. Plus, I think it's helping me on some of the unrelated issues you have.
That's good then. And I'm glad to have been appreciated for the help that I offered. No? No thanks was necessary. Simply knowing that you've received benefit from it, and it's been helping you is enough for me. But it's nice to hear all the same.
I mean, well, from Reynolds, I mean, we'll be thankful to the people who deserve it, whether they want or not.
That is true. Many of the men who I've spoken to of Reynolds have been quite insistent on their thanks. Some have
Mhm.
even insisted I accept payments.
Yes. We're not just doing it for the sake of it. Just like we're doing it because we want to.
I remember
That
one man who insisted that I accept his thanks or he'd be insulted.
sounds about right.
At that point, I just couldn't say no, so I accepted the brooch as well as the chocolates.
Mm, I think they may not have just been thanks, but
Perhaps
at
not.
least, at least he was happy you accepted them.
Yes, I have not seen him ever again, but I think that he was quite happy.
Well, I think I know why he never came back again, too.
Why's that?
Yeah. Well, when let's see, he gives you brooch and chocolates, right?
Yes.
Now, usually, well, one of us give you something like that. Usually, a jewel or something along those lines. It's because we fancy the person we give those to.
She actually blinks for a moment. Oh, Around
Right.
here, we just come out and say it.
Right, well, say, well, should I put this? I think I wanted to at least see what kind of reaction we'd have before coming out and saying it. But
I see.
I think just accepting those like that wasn't exactly the reaction he was hoping to get. So that may be why you never saw him again.
Unfortunate.
You probably broke his heart, the poor man.
Oh, I had no intention of that. Oh well, I do hope that he has found solace with in some other woman's buns.
Well, we know how to roll with the punches, so there's plenty of fish in the sea. So I'm sure he did.
Excellent.
Oh, right, by the way, I did visit the lake and the spa, and you're right. Those were some pretty nice places.
Oh yes, I find it thoroughly enjoyable and extremely relaxing.
Well, they have quite the extensive catalog over there.
Oh, you
S-
looked at the extended menu.
Well, I'll look at what there was. Mainly what was outside. I don't know anything about an extended menu.
Technically, Delon just read off everything.
Yes, basically. If anything, I don't. Well, really, I myself didn't know what was on the menu. I got someone else to read it for me.
Ah. Well, the traditional bath and the thorough cleansings are the most common things that one would get there. But there are more like an in-depth scrubbing, more of there's massages that are offered, you know. Those are part of the extended menu. I usually partake in a nice bath, a thorough scrubbing, and I always ask for the massage.
Hmm. I went for the muscle treatment myself, but well, when you said extensive standard menu, I expected something else. It's not something, well, it's what was like right in front of our eyes. Consider that the normal menu.
No, there's no secret menu of any sort, I assure you.
I don't know, I mean, the phase are close by, so wouldn't really surprise me. But I'd definitely come back to Lunaria some other day. Don't know when, but
Good.
when the time comes, I'll treat you to a drink.
If you treat me to a drink, I'll be sure to treat you to a meal. You cover the
Well,
drinks,
we'll
I'll
go from
cover the
there.
food. How about that?
That sounds like a fair trade.
Then I'll be looking forward to
But-
it.
But until then, keep safe, and both Sylviana and Bridget watch over you.
She gives you a nod and a smile back. May Sylviana watch over you and Bridget guide you.
Thank you. For that, both will go separate ways.
Mm-hmm.
Or like,
She gives you a little wave as you walk away.
sorry for not visiting you more often. It's like we got a sidetrack.
She seems
Could
quite
be
happy
like-
that you popped in again.
Yeah.
But with her waving you goodbye and you heading down the bridge again, we're going to segue back to Bub and the Hall of Draconomy.
Man, my mask will
God,
feel
how
so
many-
much nicer now.
Yeah, God, how much dragons are there? There's so many dragons.
Yeah, too
Yeah,
many
dude.
dragons for my liking.
This is D&D, dude. There's lots of dragons. Like, even just the color dragons, that's like 30 something of them.
Yeah, I got the young ones, the adult ones, wormlings.
There's actually less dragons in my campaign setting than a traditional D&D one, but
Yeah.
there's actually a decent amount throughout the entire course of the game's history. Like in the actual history of the campaign setting, there is a lot of dragons, but most of them don't reach adulthood.
Yeah.
Because if a clutch of dragon eggs is like 5 every time, and there's like at least 5 dragons every 1,000 years or something like that, and an age is like a few thousand years, you know. Decent amount of dragons in the world. But alrighty. So, Bub, as you, with the Bone Dragon, have been working to revitalize the walls of the murals, you actually notice that the murals show 5 dragons who offer their claws up to the moon, and it kind of looks like the moon is much lower to them. As they stand above the people, which are tiny in comparison, but the dragons hold their hands up to the heavens, which seems to, with the moon, like barely an inch away from their clawed hands.
Huh.
Another mural shows like dragons, like different dragons, kind of like it shows like looks like a primitive map of canes, like one that wasn't like that was drawn with much less info. It doesn't have Asterium at all. It doesn't seem to have Nebulum. It has what looks like the Savage Lands, the Land of Monsters, and like King's Landing and Gloucester, but nothing else. And it shows like a dragon on each of the maps, each of the continents that are shown. And the dragon kind of sits with its wings outspread. And they look regal, dignified, and like observant guardians or something like that. The last mural shows essentially what looks like a human or humanoid person kneeling before a dragon who is extending its clawed hand. There is some sort of like a glowing artifact in the dragon's hand, and the human seems to be accepting it.
So Bub's just like staring at the mural and he's like, okay. I don't suppose my moon tattoo would light up when I'm near the tree.
Would you like to try to like call on it or on Freya?
Yes. Because it seems like this thing might derive its powers from the moon, just based on the context.
Alrighty.
Freya, activate special effect.
Freya, I choose you.
Yeah, pretty much. I press the Z button.
So, as you approach the tree and you call on Freya, she kind of like wakes up. She was napping, and like under your hat, she kind of pokes her head out,
Yeah.
and she stretches her wings and flies around. Notably, she doesn't seem to have any trouble breathing under the water.
Yeah, I mean, she's technically like in another dimension, I think. Makes
Something
sense.
like that.
Yeah.
Notably, while she's flying down here, she actually seems to illuminate the area around you. She gives off a silvery blue glow. Reminds you of like a full moon. Where are we, bub?
I'll explain briefly.
Oh. Yep, this tree is important, alright.
Yeah. Do you know anything about it?
Oh, I know lots about it. Oh yeah, it's kind of like the heart of the forest, but different.
Whoa. How?
Well, it's not exactly the heart of the forest, but it's kind of like a really powerful old tree that makes the entire area around it just more nature. She says this while like spreading her arms out wide.
Good to have more nature. Well, it was dying, so I had to help it.
Ooh,
But
good for you, bub.
He puffs out his chest and says, well, I'm trying to figure out what to do with it because it has a guardian that's important and I want to help.
As you say this, the bone dragon sits like behind you and waves at Freya. Ah! She like flies and hides under your hat again. What is that, bub? It's huge and bony and scary.
It's a dragon.
Really?
Yeah.
She like flies back out from under your hat, like flutters all around the dragon before coming back. Huh. Not a dragon I've ever seen.
Yeah, me neither. He was down here guarding the place.
Oh.
But he can't leave.
Oh. Then he has like a duty tied to this place, or maybe this is like a domain. If he leaves, maybe the tree gets weaker. It could be damaged. Maybe
Yeah.
his presence serves like a protective charm.
I want to figure out how to restore the tree and help my friend. But this entire place, it fell under the sea. I don't know how to bring it back up.
Oh. There might be like a ritual or a spell, maybe. Oh, maybe there's like a magic artifact. Something that you could go whoosh and it floats right on up.
I turned to the dragon. Do you have a magic artifact?
It imparts onto you what looks like a mighty staff that was in the hands of Moonshaper when he left.
Did it have a crystal in it, or it was just a
Did
staff?
have a crystal.
Okay. By all powers combined, I'm gonna put it in.
So you're gonna put like the big nature crystal that the dragon gave you, and like put it on the tree.
Or I was gonna put it on the staff.
Oh, on your staff. Okay.
And unless the diamond was on the tree, then I'll put it on the tree. But
Nah, it was on Moonshaper's staff.
okay.
So as you put like the big old gemstone on your staff, it just kind of like falls down a little bit. It doesn't stay right away.
Huh.
It's also pretty heavy, so you feel like you feel like it needs to be combined with maybe a special kind of a wood or like in a special way to create something more powerful.
How do I put it together?
Oh, I know. You need to find someone who could put it together for you, bub. It's like a job. Someone needs to do a really good job on that.
But who would know how to deal with a druid artifact? Oh, maybe Earth Mother and Earth Father could do that.
Oh, that would make sense. Oh, you also have someone. He's kind of loud, but also quiet and old. He makes stuff.
Who's that? A lot of my friends are old.
Jildas.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. That's a good idea, Freya. You're really smart.
Really? I was always told that I was the dumbest of the fairies.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that true?
I don't know. I just can't. I have trouble paying attention.
All right. I'm gonna turn to my dragon friend and I say, "Well, bone dragon friend, I want to fix this so I can come back and help. Can I do that?"
The bone dragon nods, and it basically lays down around the tree in its protective posture again.
All right, I'm gonna zoom out. Zoom out.
Alrighty. So, Bub, you zoom your way out. Freya just kind of like grabs hold of one of your tentacles. You just hear like whee as you just swim your way out.
Cool. Gilda. Gilda. I'm gonna go to the temple. I'm just gonna assume he's gonna be there.
Alright, so which temple? There's 3 of them.
The one with the big, the one with the priestess in it.
Which one of those? There's all of them have priestesses in them.
I wasn't paying attention to that.
Yeah, there's the Healer's Den, there's the Bridge of Amor, and then there's the Temple of Sylviana.
I don't know where he was going though. I thought there was just one temple. Seriously.
No, there's like the big
Oh,
temple,
like
and then
three of
there's 2 small temples.
Well, which temple did he go to? I want to go to that one.
He's gone currently to the Healer's Den and the Bridge of Amor.
All right. Well,
You know,
Bub-
how many sessions have we been here? How many sessions have we dealt with the Bridge of Armor Temple and the Healing Ward? And he's
Well-
like, I don't know what to
Look,
say anymore.
everything below the lake is irrelevant to Bub.
No. The
You're
only
right.
thing that
See,
matters to
you
Bub
use the
is
scroll
what's below
bar
the
like
lake. Everything else
See,
above the lake doesn't matter.
See, at 100% zoom, you stop the scroll bar just like at the lake, you know, like the bottom one. It's like the Bridge of Armor, the Healers that don't fucking exist. You have the Zero Lunaria and the big ass temple. That's all that matters.
honestly, like Bub would probably go to the big temple, assuming that that's where Gildas is.
That makes
honestly.
sense, honestly. That's also where Uluru is, so it would make sense if Bob would head there, because he needs Gildas to make the dress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Start
I'm going to the
sewing.
big-
Chop chop.
I go to the big temple and I say, "All right, Freya, keep your lookout for Gildas." I'm gonna
Okay.
go to the big temple.
Freya
Okay,
will
the
stand
prob-
on your head, like lean forwards and kind of like bob her head up and down as she puts her hand on top of her forehead, just kind of like looking around left and right and forward.
Yeah, the problem is like, I'm like, can I assume make the dress like elsewhere? You know, like literally at the doorstep of the temple, you know? So like, would I even head there right now? But I guess I could, just for the sake of simplicity.
I mean, we don't have the dresses yet. There's not much.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, like
Just like
Makes
Just
sense
use
though
your
for
move to
Bub to
define
show
it.
up, like
Let's make it here and then bring it to her.
Gildas. All right, so I go into the temple. Hello.
Alrighty, so you make your way into the temple. Several of the Fey creatures all just kind of give you a nod or a wave, like, "Welcome, Bub."
Hi. Have you seen Gildas?
A weird little like creature that looks kind of like a lawn gnome, but made out of wood, just kind of like thinks for a moment, shakes its head.
Huh? But this is the biggest temple, and he's a cleric. Why isn't he here?
Maybe if we wait here long enough, he'll show up.
But we can't wait. We gotta spend the time making the stuff.
Then we should get to work making the stuff.
I don't know. I don't make stuff.
Oh, right. You're just good at finding stuff
Yeah.
and knowing
Hmm.
stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Let's get that guy, that really suspicious guy, the totally untrustworthy one. Tulio? Let's get him to find Gildas.
How is Tulio untrustworthy?
He's extremely untrustworthy. He lies all the time.
What? That's not true.
Is it?
Yeah, he's just misunderstood.
Oh, okay then, if Bob says so. Let's go get that misunderstood guy to help out.
Well, that's a problem. Tulio could be anywhere. Maybe he's gone fishing again. I'm gonna go to the Druid Circle where Earth Father and Earth Mother would be, I guess,
Alrighty.
and then just look around the town for Gildas in the process.
Alrighty then. So Gildas, after leaving the Bridge of Amor, where were you heading off to?
Well, I mean, we'll be making a dress, essentially. Now, see, the issue is, the kind of dress is beyond my skill expertise, actually. So, considering, well, I would have to wait for like Bub and Dalan anyway. I would have gone to look for Eleanor or Ophelia just to help with the dress, because they know their stuff, I don't,
Fair enough.
basically.
And before Gildas uses his daily forging of Brigid to basically make it super good.
I need to find some fine Christian ladies so they know how to make a dress.
Exactly. Like, all I can make is like some simple cape, like a dress with no frill. It's like
Gildas makes an entire
Well,
suit of
like-
chainmail that looks like a dress.
Literally,
yeah,
like,
battle
she's-
dress.
she's
Yeah,
just gonna
battle
be
dress
mad.
I could probably make.
Like,
Yeah.
Literally looks like she might be mad, and she's like, "I love it."
I can smack people and look good in it. I know, Gildas, you better feel about. You know me to my deepest. Nah.
Uh, Alrighty, you
can I get
return
a-
to essentially the home or something like that where Uncle Bernard is to find Eleanor and
Right.
Ophelia.
I mean, assuming they're still there, not just wandering off.
You know, as you leave the Bridge of Amor and you're making your way back over there, Bob, you actually hear Freya suddenly point. And she points in one direction. Like, oh, there he is! I think I found him. He's all the way over there.
So I just like do a cartoon run towards him.
Your feet just turn into like a blurred wheel as you just.
Gildas.
It's so weirdly unsettling.
My voice is messed up. It was like this yesterday.
I
and I had to
know, I
sing
love
for-
that. It's so weirdly unsettling.
I had to sing for 3 hours.
I weirdly love it. It's just hilarious to me.
But what else? Like, it's gonna maybe jump a little bit without just to turn around and say, Bob, what brings you all the way down there?
Something important. Something important. You see him get out like a big ass staff in a big ass gym.
Oh, where did you get that?
He stops.
A very secret place where certain things may have been acquired before.
Mm-hmm. Just look at you, guy, Nuddle trying to wanting to reprimand a child, but like, they're not. I'll say. Then what's important? But you need to get me all the way down there.
I need you to fix this.
We gotta put this, and I like put the crystal like on the staff. This has gotta go in this. I need to help my friend that's
Pass the door down there.
Well, can't very well just do it in the middle of the street. So, well,
Oh yeah, you need a forge, they call it.
well, no, just, I think that kind of. I think I can do it with just my tools, but just need a more tranquil place.
Okay, alright, let's go there and we can make the dress too.
Indeed, that was also my intention. Going to the manor and ask Eleanor or Ophelia for some.
Gildas just takes like a single nail and just like He goes right through the jab, straight into the branch, and done.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Stuck there.
We get the bad
Yeah.
ending.
It's like, even better, less effort kind of thing. It's like, boom.
So Gillis just takes the staff apart, he takes the gin, and he just like presses them kind of hard together, and it stays. Like, there you go, bub.
Does mending seriously do it?
No,
No,
I don't
not
think,
really.
but like, probably make the staff like look better. But yeah, I'll like, I guess yeah, we'll make our way to the manor
Yeah.
Alrighty.
first of all.
So as you make your way towards the manor with Bub, I'm gonna move back over to Delon briefly.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So Delon, after leaving Harkin, where did you head off to?
I thought about maybe going to see Galadir and thanking her, but I mean, Gilda's already did that, so I don't have to really.
Fair enough.
I could if y'all didn't mind, but I mean, I don't have to.
Well, up to you, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fuck it. Why not? I'll just go down quickly and early in the session, I did hand dresses to Theodore and Kirillai, and they're just like, "Oh, thanks." I'm like, I got you some nice dresses. God damn it.
Well, I
Right.
mean, I mostly assumed they were wrapped, so, you know, you didn't describe
Yeah.
what each present was, so I assumed they were all, like, wrapped.
The only ones like Delon didn't wrap was I mean, you can't wrap like bloody swords.
You could, they'd
Like,
just
I
be
mean, you
very
can.
obviously swords.
Like it's like that one Family Guy sketch where he's like, it's a bottle, like it looks like the shape of a bottle of alcohol. He's like, I wonder what this could be. He opens the wrapping, and
It's
there's a
like-
book. He's like, oh,
I mean, she's like, yeah, these are swords, but you don't know what they're made of.
yeah,
We gingerbread sauce, well, you know.
they're adamantium.
The bread swords. Made out of bread. Stale baguette bread.
Literally,
More
could
like
kill
baseball
someone with
bats than anything, but you know.
Real. Nothing's worse than a frozen baguette. Yeah, I'll go quickly go talk to Galadir, and then head back to the manor. Or
Alrighty.
Healing World or whatever, I don't know.
So you make your way over to the Bridge of Amor. When you arrive, similar to how Gildas did, there's a line there. But you notice that Galalir is notably kind of like standing. She's directing certain other priestesses to head over towards the line in certain ways. When she sees you, she actually gives a nod to another priestess who takes up her position, and she walks over to you. Oh, hello. You know, a companion of yours was just here a little earlier.
Is that so? Well, then you're very popular, it seems.
Oh, yes.
Confident.
Naturally. Many come to see me, and I help as many as I can.
Well, then, I suppose I will not be the only one then to thank you for your words.
Ah. So you've come to thank me then?
I thought it best I do so before I leave.
Well, then I thank you as well for the thanks. It's unneeded, but it is nice to hear all the same. It's good to be appreciated.
You know, I used to believe, he's like, I still believe that there is a certain need for humility when doing good deeds, but isn't aren't you the one who reminded me? Sometimes you need to say things. Even, he's like, just in case you never get to say it. So, take your things.
She gives you a smile.
I will miss the city, though. We will be journeying out for not for long, but in the meantime, I was curious. If you ever need any extra items or come by through again, please don't hesitate to ask us, since we travel so much.
I'll consider it. There's not many
Hope you do.
times that I need something done that cannot be done with the men here, or someone who could craft me something here. However, I will keep that in mind should I need to reach out to your group. I do
Please
have
do.
a feeling that things are going to get more difficult eventually. And
Yes.
having a friend like
Thank you.
yourself on the outside could be very useful when that time comes.
Mm. Wow. Like that's all I really want to say. It's like, well, with that, I think I'll leave you to your time. Take care of yourself.
You as well. Remember to get plenty of sleep. Remember to eat plenty.
I'll be fine.
I've known many
Thank
knights
you.
who'd gone many sleepless nights while forgetting to eat while on their quests. You'll find yourself out of stamina if you don't.
Mm. We can't have that. Take care. And I'll leave.
She gives you a genteel wave as you walk away, smiling the entire time.
Mm-hmm. And I guess I'll make my way back to the manor, I guess. Or I guess I could I'm in the area, I might as well stop at the ward.
Alright, so you make your way to the healer's den briefly.
Very briefly. I'm trying to be quick with this.
You're good. So as you make your way towards the healer's den, you find that Fearlore is sitting outside on a bench. She just seems to be she has her eyes closed and is enjoying the breeze. Kirillai is sitting on a bench nearby as well, simply reading a tome.
Taking a break.
Fearlore's eyes open, but she doesn't lose the smile. No, simply enjoying a moment of peace before more patients arrive.
Mm. Yes, I think you should enjoy them. They don't come as often as you hope.
No, they do not. Fearlore stands up and approaches you, Delon.
Mm.
She actually gives you a small hug.
Let's listen.
She then slowly takes a step back and nods at you. I simply wish to give you a hug. It was wonderful to see you.
To you as well. You and your sister. Please take care of my uncle. He acts tough, but I'm sure you know more than most how much he cares for you.
Oh yes, Bertie's quite the puppy dog.
I don't think he'd very much appreciate that being told by another man, but as long as you understand my meaning.
She nods. Kirillai
And-
comes up and kind of punches you on the shoulder, but very playfully, not hard.
I feel nothing, I'm a dragonborn.
Mm-hmm. She then crosses her arms over her chest and gives you a grin.
What?
Oh, nothing. Just saying goodbye.
That is your
Why?
way. Fine.
What? I'm not gonna give you a hug like Fearlore.
No, I suppose it wouldn't suit you. I hope that their dresses do, however.
Oh, I loved the dress. I didn't open it at the breakfast table because I wasn't quite sure it would be appropriate to open a gift from a gentleman at the table. Never know what could be inside of it. You actually see Fearlore roll her eyes.
Shit. Brain fart. Well, as long as you enjoyed them, and please, do take care of yourself.
I intend to. But only if you manage to do the same.
I will make my best effort to do so.
Good. Because I don't want to have to patch you up and stitch your limbs back together, you hear? I mean, I'll do it free of charge, but I don't want to have to do it.
I wouldn't want you to do so either. Delana will pause for a moment and say, I'm going to miss both of you. I'm going to miss this place. I don't know when I get to say this, but I really have come to enjoy this.
Fearlore nods at you and gives you a warm smile. I will miss you as well. I have greatly enjoyed your company. Kirillai actually nods, giving you a very genuine smile. I'm gonna miss you too. It's been fun playing around with you and teasing you from time to time.
Both of you, take care and enjoy your peace. He gives her one last nod and make us depart. I get this point, I'll just hit the banner.
Alrighty.
Sorry to keep you all waiting.
So after that, you make your way back towards the manor home. So as you arrive at the manor home, Gildas and Bub, you find that inside, Ophelia is sitting at the table, reading her very large tome, and notably as well, Eleanor is sitting near her, essentially just kind of like perusing some old magical scrolls.
Ladies, gentlemen.
Who's there? Dylan's already there.
I just imagine that as they're as Gildas and Bub are looking in the doorway, Delana is just like right behind them as he says that.
Yep. Gentlemen.
Well, seems like everyone's here.
I've recovered most of the business I needed to do before going to the matter in hand. After all, there's a young lady who needs a proper dress or two.
Exactly. And Bob needs me for something else. I wanted to ask those two lovely ladies here could help us with the dress.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's so suspicious. Bub's like so suspicious. Yeah.
Bob is never suspicious.
uh-huh.
I guess we'll go in.
Yeah, did they hear us? Not. 'Cause I mean, I was already talking like.
I'm just waiting to talk,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, I was say that as we step in.
So as you say this, Ophelia looks up and gives a gentle smile. A dress? What kind of a dress do you wish to commission?
Now that is where things get a little interesting. It is for Lady Uluru.
Eleanor tilts her head. Uluru wants a dress?
Very much so.
With frills and
Bows, and must be
Uh-huh.
pink
uh-huh.
to match her doll.
Yeah, it's got to be good.
Eleanor gives a bit of a playful smile. I see.
Right. So now, can you imagine us sewing that kind of dress with our awful brutish manners.
Eleanor gives you like a long once-over before nodding playfully to herself. Oh, the result would be horrible. Why, I think
still
it would turn
learning
into
manners.
a dress of chainmail if we were to leave it up to you.
Ah, well, I'm sure I could make a lovely battle dress,
I can't wear metal armor.
but unfortunately, well, engraving is pretty easy to do. Doing the same with thread and needles is, well, it would take me a month at least. And see, we got 2 bundles piled silk. I would need at least 50 of them just to make something acceptable.
Ophelia actually stands up and shakes her head at you, Gildas. No, no, no. It would not do to have lords such as yourself so addressed for a lady. That is not your job to do. Come, Eleanor. We have work to do.
You volunteering me, bitch? Yep.
Eleanor gives a playful smile at Ophelia, rolls her eyes, but stands up. Yes, that is something that us ladies are quite good at.
Well, do you mind if I stay and watch then? Just for the learning experience.
You see as Eleanor shakes her head. Not at all. It's always good to broaden your horizons.
In the meantime, Bub's like, what about the staff?
Yeah.
I mean, I could do that at the same time, really.
Yeah,
I
that
feel
was
like
already
you-
implied, so he doesn't need to ask about it.
Let me actually check something real quick.
Have like a nice square room, like do not disturb on the door.
I hear a lot of banging and chiseling and moving around inside. Oh my. Occasionally some swearing.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see here. What would be an appropriate one? I'm gonna have Eleanor roll this with advantage.
Yeah, okay, just guidance while I'm at it, actually.
Might as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah, add a d4 to that 13.
Alrighty.
Can't screw this up, guys. This is a Larousse dress. Dresses, I should say.
15. So with
Yeah,
a 15, Eleanor and Ophelia together basically managed to make 2 very beautiful, well-made dresses. They actually managed to follow the style that you described quite well. Both of them were quite naturals at sewing all these things together.
And to repair Bub's staff would be
Make an Arcana roll.
Guidance.
Because essentially what you're doing is you're like making a new staff for Bob.
Imbuing it with magical power.
yeah,
Ooh. Plus
19
I
guidance.
guess.
plus guidance.
Just guide. It's 23.
Ooh, 23.
23. Very nice. So, Gildas, with you take the gemstone that Bob has gained, which is quite a large gemstone, and just so I know. Are you using one of the like wooden pieces that is left over from the sacred tree that you got before? Or like the wood for it? Or are you just using like a regular wooden quarterstaff?
You asking me or asking Bob?
Whoever's the one who wants the materials made out of it.
Uh,
Well, I thought the staff was special, so I wanted to put it in that staff.
So you don't have like a special staff. The dragon showed you like a memory of of like a staff that Moon Shaper had. So essentially, you would be attempting to make something similar.
I'd like to try to use telepathy to show him.
Alrighty. I'd say that you could probably do so, as you're quite familiar with Gildas.
Okay,
But
cool.
the main thing I would say is, again, do you want to use like a regular quarterstaff as like the base, or do you want to dip into the cart and take like
The super bark? Yeah.
some of the super bark from one of the glades
The
earlier?
super bark. Maybe wrap it in the pedal? I don't know if that would help or not.
Do you want to add pedal to it?
Sure. What?
I mean, we got leftover pedal. Why not?
Just saying, like, hey, whatever you add to it, if it's a good, the better the material, the better the item made. Just saying.
I know.
Just like, yeah, would you like some pedals on it? It's like, where do you think I am? I'm not a girl, I'm a combo.
It's nature. Of course I want it.
Basically, yeah.
What do you mean it looks girly? It looks natural.
I'd like to imbue it with my druidic power too.
You want to imbue druidic power into it?
Yeah.
Alright.
I mean, he hasn't made it yet, but like, yeah. I want to put the rest of my spells for today in it.
Alrighty. So, Gildas, you managed to make with Bub's guidance. Funny enough, Bub's guidance. And your knowledge and craftsmanship with the materials offered. So I'd say subtract like some of the special wood that you have. At least I'd say one of the petals that you have. And the magical gemstone that the bone dragon gave you will be completely used up, but it'll be turned into this weapon.
Cool.
So those materials should be basically taken away.
Yeah.
From use for the future.
Yeah, the only other special material I have is those seeds, but I don't think that could go into a weapon.
No, those are like key items. They're like quest items.
Yeah. Okay.
This isn't like a really old school D&D game where really important quest items can just be like accidentally thrown away.
Yeah.
Sure that.
The best D&D decisions. Alrighty then. So with all of that, you managed to create a very powerful looking and very magical feeling druidic staff, Bub. Currently, however, it is a druidic staff that is not bound to anyone, nor does it seem to be like specific to any one druid. Would you like, so you want to take some time and put the rest of your spells in it, kind of a thing, to like bind yourself to it, right?
Yeah.
Alrighty. So
I mean, I'm not sure if it would be more effective to like do it as a druid circle or whatever.
The location would not necessarily affect this. Well, it wouldn't affect this here. The druid circle here is already owned, kind of a thing.
Okay.
It would only do something if you were wanting to use your staff and claim a domain as yours or something like that.
Secret dragon domain under the water.
But alrighty, you make me a nature roll, Bub.
Can somebody roll for me? I'm lying down.
I can do so.
It's a +9. I know from the top of my head. Oh wait, you said nature?
Yeah, nature roll.
That's +7.
Yeah, there we go. Roll
Yeah,
sweet.
survival is +9.
Guide me, Gildos.
Yeah, I
Where's
can. Just, boom, get your 30, whatever.
where's your macro at?
Yeah.
Guide. Is it not on your sheet somewhere? Dang.
No, it's just like a
No.
button.
Okay. I'll just roll 1d4.
Well, speaking of macros, I just took a look at it.
So, I know why Evan wanted me to roll for
No, I'm literally just lying down, that's why.
him.
No other reason.
Well, clearly
you
the
were just like
reason is
nat
because
20.
I just got a 30 on your nature roll.
Oh shit, let's go.
Yeah, man, you got advantage 26 and 4 on guidance.
We always joked about me having an epic staff. Well, here we go.
Alrighty, so Bob, you channel the remainder of your spells, and you basically perform a small little druid ritual, which essentially binds the staff to you. So you now have a druid staff, which you didn't necessarily have before.
Cool. Isn't there a magic item called Staff of the Druid or something like that?
I think so.
I might have to look it up later.
Yeah, in my campaign setting, most of the most powerful druids have like a staff that is theirs, which serves kind of like a conduit for their power. They can do pretty cool, badass stuff with their staffs.
Cool.
How you get one, Ev?
Kobold-sized staff.
It is a kobold-sized staff.
Cool.
But alrighty. So I will discuss with you what that does later.
Cool.
But alrighty. So currently, the party has 2 very nicely made and beautiful dresses, and Bub and Gildos made a super druid staff. When the dresses are finished being made, Ophelia and Eleanor actually hold up the dresses themselves. Eleanor kind of grins proudly down at it. Well, what do you think?
Considering the material and style, I think you both did a cracking job.
I concur.
Good.
These look pretty well made.
Well, of course, only the best. Though I was a little worried because I haven't sewn a dress in some time. It's good to know I still got it.
Well, it's something. Well, once you learn, level leaves you.
Ophelia nods. Yes, just like casting a cantrip.
Let's get these dresses to Lady Ulu. I'm sure she's going to love them.
Ophelia nods, gingerly folds the dress up and hands it to Eleanor. Here you are. Thank you. Now then.
Bad for them. She can't show up anywhere holy. She's just like, nope.
Basically, Ophelia can't go to the temple. It would be bad juju all around.
Come now, just like hold on to me. So that's like make an NT. The holy power field or something.
But alright, Eleanor walks over to you, Delon. Alrighty then. Shall we take these to Lady Uluru?
Yes, I think she's waited long enough.
Eleanor gives you a nod. With that, the party leaves the Delon's family's little estate and begins making their way towards the Temple of Sylviana. When you arrive, you can make your way towards the sanctuary chamber. The priestess outside gives you a bit of a bow and lets you in.
It's like Damn again. Damn it.
Oh, we got regulars.
It's like, leave us alone, you damn outsiders.
No, that's Reynolds. Reynolds.
Oh, calm
When
down.
hired, they're like, welcome. Stay forever.
The Wood Elves actually do like it when people stay. Oh, good. Some more genes to add to the gene pool. We were getting a little worried.
Yeah, but Marshall was thinking about that, damn it. Stop reading my mind. Like, I should stop reading yours. Stop reading too
Jeez.
often with my like. Hey, dude, just yesterday, I was like asking Marshall about some stuff in Reynolds. I was like, yeah, here's was what I came up with. Like, tell me if it's accurate. He's like, yeah, it is. I'm like, man, I'm just. He's like, man, Remy. I was like, are you actually Reynolds? And I'm like, no, I'm not. It's just like,
Rem is actually not French. He's actually been isekai'd from Kingless Chronicle, specifically from Riddle, to our world. He just doesn't remember.
No, you see, when you were banished, you
Reverse
became
isekai.
Ronaldian by default. So,
yeah.
I keep
Well,
forgetting you
just
were
like,
banished.
yeah. It's like all the thing I've asked about Reynolds Marshall, like all the thing I've done relating to that will be like 95% accurate. I'm like, yeah,
Basically, yeah.
maybe. Yeah. We enter the temple.
hmm
Then Uluru already went home. So like, fuck you guys.
No. As you enter the temple, you find that Irantir is there. Uluru is. Irantir is basically in there. Basically, there is a small pouch on the ground beside her. She has a staff, which seems to be like a bit of a walking staff, and Uluru is currently sitting on her tail, playing with her new toy, the one Bub gave her. She's actually having the new toy, and her old trash doll seem to be fighting, like a big fight with lots of spells and claw attacks and stuff.
Cool.
Irantir looks up from Uluru and gives you all a nod. Ah, welcome.
Looks like you
Hey.
both packed up, ready to go.
Yes, I will be escorting Uluru back to the Enclave very shortly.
And it's a good thing we happened to get to you in time.
Oh?
We do happen to have what the lady requested.
Hear that, Uluru? They have something for you.
They said they have something for a lady. It's for you.
All right, so I'm gonna present it. So Bob, like, he like holds it by his half and he goes dun dun dun, bum 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 bum, bum 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 bum, and he like kneels down and like presents the dress, like while he's kneeling down and holding it up. Ba 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 ba.
Uluru looks up, curious why you're doing that, and then you see as she just like her eyes widen, and she actually drops the dolls for a moment, and in a blinding blur, the dress is out of your hands, and she is ran somewhere out of view. Irantir just blinks. I have not seen her move quite so quickly, except when she was trying to get away from her bath.
You're gonna need a cleaning spell to help her with that. Prestidigitation.
Irantir kind of smiles at that. Prestidigitation's quite useful to clean small messes up, but regarding Uluru, she needs a proper bath.
Well, it's too bad she doesn't like baths. There's something that would interest her in a certain place. But it's too bad she has gotta go.
She doesn't like being touched in so many ways. As you're standing there talking a little bit, suddenly, the big tree that's in the room, you see as you hear a voice as someone up in the tree is standing proudly on top of the tree, her draconic feet sticking out from under a pink frilly dress, as her hair kind of billows behind her, her hands on her hips. She just shouts, "I am Uluru! I am a flower!"
Hooray! I hope you're not a flower that eats people. That's where we got that stuff.
Uluru jumps down from the tree and gently glides down before gently touching the ground. She actually walks right over to you, Bob.
Uluru is a pretty flower that only eats people she doesn't like.
That's good.
And I like you, bub, so I'm not gonna eat you.
Hooray!
Uluru puts her arms above her head and like does a twirl.
Am I pretty?
Sure. That was from the prettiest flower in the forest. I made sure to check.
Then that means Uluru's the prettiest flower in the forest.
Yeah.
Hmm. She only put like one dress on. There are 2 dresses.
She chose the pink one.
That is fair. We also made you a second dress, in case you wish to use that one more liberally.
2?
Aye. One that you can enjoy on your own, and the other if you want to use in everyday use.
Uluru will wear it always.
And I'm glad you enjoy it as much. But if you're going to smell like a flower, Delon actually will reach into his the bag of holding. I can offer you at least this. He brings out a perfume.
Uluru snatches it surprisingly quickly once again, holds it upside down, looks it all over before like spraying some on herself, and before nodding.
Camouflage. Pretty smelling camouflage.
My scales are natural camouflage.
Uluru has a protective layer. And he doesn't get it.
Your protective layer is dirt. A lady is not dirty, Uluru.
You don't understand. It hides Uluru's scent.
She like does this while taking up like a hunter's pose.
It's like, if we're going to use the camouflage for the flower, wouldn't that contradict the mud and dirt on your body?
Flowers are dirty in the roots.
Aye, but you're a pretty flower and a lady. Why not keep yourself clean and use that as the camouflage instead?
Uluru will have this spray, and she will smell like a flower and look like a flower. If the forest thinks Uluru's a flower, then it's gonna work.
But even flowers need a little bit of water from time to time.
Yeah, Uluru goes out in the rain all the time.
Can't be child logic.
As a child.
We are defeated. There's no coming back to that.
You have been defeated in an argument by a 200-year-old child. How do you feel?
Feel pretty good, sir. Feel pretty
Yeah.
good.
I mean, I'm only 30. What do I know? Right?
Your character's 30 and he has gray hair. Damn.
I
Gildas is Irish confirmed.
no.
Mhm.
There's a reason why. It's like that. When you go through a traumatic event, and you have your hair going white and all that.
Look
It's
older
what
than you
happens.
should, you
Okay,
know.
Nav. Okay, Nav.
Moses, really.
That was a religious experience. That's not the same as a traumatic experience.
No,
Both can,
no.
you can
That the
do
religious
traumatic religious
experience came after.
experience.
Came after.
There was
Okay.
burning of bushes involved.
Yeah, exactly. But Delam will just say, I concur with you. This, even if you're getting water, I think is it good? I think you would do quite well as cleanliness. You would be the most beautiful flowers. However, if that is what you wish to do so in the meantime, please take care of the dresses we've bestowed upon you.
Of course.
And
If anything were to happen to these dresses, Uluru would seek vengeance on the one who did it. Even if it was Uluru.
How would you
I'm
seek
glad you're
vengeance
agreeable.
upon yourself, Uluru?
Uluru would suffer the consequences.
Irantir just shakes her head with a smile. Uluru, didn't you also have something to give them?
Oh, right. Here, hold these.
She hands the toys to Irantir before walking away for a moment. She comes back about 5 minutes later with some a small little wooden chest where the locking mechanism is like a skull that opens, the top half opens and it's like a
Metal.
little rat mouth kind of a thing as the locking
That's
mechanism.
actually pretty metal.
She places the chest on the ground, opens it, and you just see her fiddling with it a little bit before finding a few things, reaching in. She approaches Bub first.
Here you go.
Ooh, what is it? I take it.
It's a totem.
And she hands you what looks like a totem that a shaman would use, but it's made out of it's made out of both a dead animal as well as some pieces of very old trees. It has designs etched into it, carved into it. It's also well painted. And you can tell that it's coated in something that will preserve it.
Ooh.
It radiates nature energy.
I'm just gonna move it around and look at it from every angle.
If you place it in your campfire, not in the fire itself, but in your camp, it will protect you from evil spirits by summoning a spirit to war and scare them off.
Ooh. I like spirits.
Spirits are both good and evil.
Yeah.
At the same
That's why
time.
I'm learning to talk.
Uluru then walks over to you, Gildas, and hands you something.
What is it?
It's a hammer.
Uh-huh.
Goblins don't listen. Bad at discipline. They need Club. This is the Club of the Forest. Made by Uluru.
The Club of the Forest. Well, let's take a look.
So, she's handed you a club that has a wooden base, and it has what looks kind of like a troll skull or something, attached to the wooden base. The troll skull is very heavy, so this is a very heavy-handed, heavy-ended weapon. And the troll skull is just kind of like a kind of expression. You feel like anything you clubbed with this would feel it quite a lot and potentially be terrified. It's a brutal, it's a brutish, crude but effective club.
Just
You
for a
can-
war chief.
Right. Probably just keep it just for the image. Like, not use it. Just like have it close by. Or just give it to Dagda.
You give it to Dagdar, and Dag becomes Dagdar's favorite weapon.
So yeah, to take it like, well, look at it. There's no every angles. I'll say. Just look at Uluru and say, "Thank you." Those vital silk we used for the dresses were not easy to come by.
You're welcome. Thank you for making Uluru a flower.
She then marches right over to you, Delon.
Mm-hmm.
Here you go.
I'll take what she's giving.
So she hands you what looks like some sort of a pebble. But as you look at it and kind of hold it in your hand, you notice that it is not a pebble made of stone. It's made of bone, and it has a symbol that looks similar to the Blood Hunter symbols carved into it.
What's this?
It is a watching ward stone. Blood huntresses carry them with them, and they protect them from shadows and Onis. By having one of these in your pocket, Onis will think you stink and go away.
Ooh.
Only the strongest of Onis will not find you stinky, and they'll think you smell delicious.
Thank you. This means a lot, and I can tell you made it from the heart. I'm glad we can give you something, and that we can exchange these gifts.
Yes, Uluru is happy to be a flower.
Every time Uluru talks, she extends her hands out to her side. It does like a spin.
Delon will laugh at that, but with a warm smile. And a beautiful flower indeed.
Bud said Uluru is the prettiest flower in the forest.
You are certainly wearing the petals of it, if I do say so myself.
Uluru puts her hands on her hips. Just stands proudly.
Ah. I guess, listen. And then I suppose our mission is accomplished. And we have done and the exchange of gifts is a success. Thank you, Arentia, for allowing us to do so.
Of course. And thank you for giving such a wonderful gift to Uluru. She is over the moon with joy.
How does Uluru be over the moon?
Emotionally speaking.
Uluru's emotions are on their ground.
Well, we see. As you're the prettiest flower of the forest, you grow up to become even more. And one day, reach out beyond the moon, as you're over the moon.
Uluru will extend her petals to the four corners of this world.
Cool.
But for now, Uluru needs to rest, as we are going to be taking a long walk in the morning.
No, Uluru wants to dance with her doll.
You can dance with your doll in the morning.
No!
I will not be giving you back your doll until you go to rest.
Uluru will take the doll.
Uluru can try.
Give it!
She gets like a smack on the head with the staff.
Give it!
This continues right before your eyes for some time.
It's one of those 80s cartoons where everyone just begins to laugh. That's like the episode's
The
ending.
credit roll.
The credits roll, yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, there's a free.
Man,
Freeze
I wish I
frame
knew about
credit
the
roll.
dragon down there. I would have gotten Uluru's help. Damn.
I mean, it's not technically too late. You could always bring that up.
Doesn't feel
But-
right though.
You gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Also, it's
Sure,
Bub's
dude.
secret though.
It
It is
is Bob's
Bob's
secret.
Also, I want the
I thought
treasure.
Uluru was part of the cool kids, so she gets to know your secret.
She does, but she's obstinate.
Hey, Uluru's a girl. She doesn't get to know the coolest secrets.
That's true.
Uluru is a girl.
No girls allowed,
Wow.
alright?
But alrighty. Irantir and Uluru actually, eventually, Irantir excuses herself and Uluru as Uluru is walking after Irantir, jumping up, trying to grab the doll. Irantir just kind of calmly walks away, leading her away with it. As you are leaving the sanctuary area here, Eleanor finally speaks up, having been quiet this entire time. That was adorable.
It was certainly worth it to see her reactions. Honestly, better than I hoped.
It was just precious. I never thought I'd say that about Uluru.
People tend to
Well-
surprise you if you give them the opportunity to do so.
Well, it's not like the first time we saw her. You would expect that. I mean, the wild child appearance, the spears top a door, you know,
Aye.
the
But I think the greatest breakthrough has been Sir Bob.
Breakthrough.
Aye. It's just what we're speaking. Before and after. Have you not noticed the small changes?
Well, there's been a lot of changes lately. I guess it's hard to keep up with everything.
Indeed.
Speaking of which, there's some important changes I need to talk to you about.
Oh.
But maybe we should go back to the cabin first.
As you wish. Dawn's just kind of like glancing at Gildas and Eleanor.
Eleanor nods. And do you guys want to head
I-
to the cabin or the manor?
I think
yeah,
the man is
because
Yeah.
I want to say my goodbyes to Erentia.
You
Like,
can,
at the same
Yeah,
time,
please.
leaving,
Yeah, no,
she's,
go
she's
for it.
leaving tomorrow. Like, could do it on the way. Like, I'll say,
Go get you some.
oh, come on now.
Mm,
I got the better find peace right over my eyes. So,
Oh.
I know, I was just like, go back. Well, I'll
Sounds like
just
you
say,
Sounds like you got like 2 fight pieces.
oh, look, man. There's a lot of elves around. But yeah, they'll say, go on ahead without me. I'll catch up.
Eleanor gives a nod.
Like,
Alright then.
let's backtrack a little bit. Back into the sanctuary and
As you arrive back in the sanctuary, you find that Urantir has just recently stepped back into the sanctuary. Uluru is nowhere to be seen.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so I'll just like walk back to her. Then, yeah,
Oh,
just say,
welcome back. Did you
Well-
forget something?
well, in a manner of speaking, yes. It's just that been making the round today, and was the last person I planned to see today. Well, and seeing as we'll be both leaving, I think it's a good important to say goodbye.
Ah. Yes, I had been meaning to seek you out as well. I wanted to thank you. You
Well, I guess
accomplished with your group what I could not.
that makes two of us. Because I wanted to thank you for your insights. Really, just answering and my curiosities. Well, steadying rather.
Of course. It's been very enjoyable discussing as many of things as possible that could sate your curiosities. Perhaps at some point you could sate my curiosities of Bridget.
Well, the door will always be open. And I hope we can do that beyond the walls. That would be a nice thing.
Yes, I do not many oftentimes make pilgrimages out of Sylviana's temple itself. But I think I could request some time to be perhaps guarded as I wander the streets, or go out for a nice lunch, perhaps.
Well, just depend on how far you get to you get your lunch. I mean, just an excuse to eat some stew with Frostmourne. I'm not sure Centurion or someone like that would readily agree.
No, I imagine he'd grumble and groan the entire walk there. And then once we arrived, he'd complain how cold it is.
Oh, come now. It's not as cold as the neighboring country.
No, Land of Monsters is colder. She actually has like a brief moment of realization before she gets a little more serious. Actually, speaking of the Land of Monsters,
What of it?
there's been talks, though not officially, of tensions arising within the Land of Monsters itself.
Well, actually, there might be because we've also received words that well, the other tribes were getting restless.
At some point, I think it would be wise for you to return to the Land of Monsters. Perhaps survey your lands and perhaps seek out some of the other war chiefs, attempt to either make friends or enemies with them.
No. It was my intention already to come back. If only speak with the shaman about the peace talks.
Good.
As
She actually seems visibly relieved at that.
but to be told, I hadn't really considered talking to the other war chiefs as well, so I'll do just that. If only to keep your mind at ease.
It would keep my mind well at ease to know that you and your tribe would be safe and well armed and defended. Many of the war chiefs around these lands will strike up unions, a treaty, with a brother in arms. They'll partake of a special drink, they'll fight each other, and only afterwards will they essentially, I believe they slash each other in some way, and they let their blood that's on their weapons drip into a goblet. Some sort of practice to become blood brothers.
Yeah, I wonder if the orcs back home do the same thing. Marshall.
Roll history.
Uh-huh. Yeah, there we go. 22.
22. So you know that in Reynold, orcs and minotaurs and some of the more monstrous races that are over there, they have a similar practice, but usually it occurs in a bar randomly. So one of them will just kind of insult the other, and they'll basically have a barroom brawl with each other, where they'll beat the living tar out of each other. And sometimes those two are like as thick as thieves afterwards. Other times, one of them walks away alive, the other dies. If neither dies, and they both are equally tired, but kind of satisfied with the fight, if they can laugh about it afterwards, they seem to become very close, and they'll give each other like a weapon, one that they own for the other, and essentially by accepting the weapon from the other orc or minotaur, you're accepting like the brotherhood.
Aha, no drinking of blood then.
No, nothing of the sort in Reynold at least.
Right. So I'll say, oh, the orcs and minotaurs and which of the same races as the land of monsters have the same custom back in Reynold, although much less bloody.
I see.
So, at least I know I won't be completely clueless about what to do.
Good. I think finding yourself a brother, a war chief that would die in battle with you, would be very beneficial.
That boom. It would be canny anyway. Nah, but like, we'll worry about it when we get to it, essentially. Well, there's still plenty of time until then, though, so... That much time to think of a plan of attack, so to speak. And, well, I may have a few tribes already in mind. One that help me set up, at the very least.
She nods at you. Good. I do believe that you'll make it, Gildas. You and your tribe might just make it. You have many plans, and you're not just swaggering about. You're strategizing and planning for your tribe's future.
What was it again who said, yeah, old people tend to think about the future and not the past, or remember? It was like, one of the elves, I don't remember which one.
I can't remember who said it either, unfortunately.
Yeah. What was I? Well, one of you people did say that People like us tend to think more about the future than the past, or with the present. So, of course, I would have a lot of plans. But maybe I just make too many plans. Maybe I have to dial it back a little bit.
Perhaps start small and work your way up to the large plans.
Mm-hmm. Right. So, prioritization is in order.
Yes. I'll be eagerly watching your tribe's growth. I'm very interested to see how your tribe will progress from this point forward.
Well, then I'll be sure not to disappoint you. I'll pass on the word that. How should I put it? Higher entities are watching you. Watching us. Well, of course, one is already, but what's one more, really?
I'm not quite sure if my gaze could quite match Bridget's, but I'll take the compliment.
Well, since you'll be going back to the Enclave, I suppose we could just say hello to Aqua for me.
I can do so. I shan't be there long, but I will be stopping by to deliver Uluru.
Yes, well. In the meantime, take care of yourself, and until we meet again.
Spaghetti.
She actually gives you a gentlewomanly courtesy, raising her dress up a little, and bows to you. Till we meet again.
Nod. And yeah. Suppose I'll go back to the party now. And uncover Bab's secret. Like, I've been a bad boy.
Alrighty.
Digging holes in your garden, Illinois.
So with that, Gildas moves over, making his way towards the cabin, where Delon, Eleanor, and Bub are already at.
So yeah, as I get the cabin, it'll say,
This little like.
so sorry for the
Bob.
wait.
Go ahead, please. What'd you say, Gildas?
Well, I just said sorry for the wait.
Oh, no problem. That's fine. We were just wondering what Bob brought us here. You fool.
Right. What is so important that it needs so much secrecy?
Dun, 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 dun. To be continued. How much time do we have left, come to think of it?
About
More
like
time
20
than
minutes
yeah.
or so. 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's about to be like 3 in the morning
Yeah,
or
man.
something.
We still haven't left Lunaria. It just won't let us leave.
Damn it!
There's more treasure down there. By God, I'm gonna.
I'm not leaving until I've min-maxed all the goods.
I love the consistency with you, Evan, where it's like, there's treasure down there, god damn it. And I don't mean to leave it.
I'm like, I want to get somewhere else because I'm tired of this damn ambient music that's been playing for like 3 months straight.
It is definitely next session where there's literally nothing left for us to do.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Unless.
No, there's nothing.
No, there really isn't. Even I have absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
The only thing I need to do is contact my Pearl Dragon. And I can do that at any time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna offer if you wanted to do it this session, but I think since you're
No.
already sick and it's getting late,
Yeah.
we could probably do that at the beginning of the next session instead.
Yeah, we'll just take care of that when that happens. It's really not much
But
left.
yeah, I let you guys know about what's going on down there.
So many and then Gildus is like, so many dragons. I'm getting tired of it.
Yeah.
Dragon bones, dragons. Enough of me.
Yeah.
So I want to help him out, and there's lots of treasure.
So let's get at it, guys.
Basically,
We need to build
yeah.
an army, guys.
So Bub has basically told you that there's that the giant water elemental that was down there is gone. That
Yeah.
the
He
door
left
that
his
was
post.
closed is now open, and that there was a bone dragon inside, and there was some treasure in there as well. And all the secret goodies that Bub learned, all the secret information that Bub learned, he tells you that as well, I imagine.
Yeah.
So you're telling me?
Yeah.
So Eleanor actually just kind of like crosses her arms and kind of taps her chin. So then there's there's been a bone dragon, a bony dragon guardian beneath Lunaria this entire time?
Mm-hmm. He wasn't always a bone dragon, though.
I think that stands to be said. If that's the case, what do you expect us to do about it? I feel sorry for his plight, but if he was made to stay there by Moonshaper, I'm not sure how we could help and rescue him.
Well, you guys got mad when Tulio and I went on our own last time, so I told you this time.
I'm not being mad at you at this occasion. I completely understand where you're coming from. I just don't know where to start.
Well, I can polymorph two of you.
And then what?
Well, I have the staff now.
Eleanor nods. I could make more water breathing potions.
Yeah, I'm also concerned that something else is down there trying to get it. We gotta stop it.
That is a good concern. Tell me again. You said it had black cracks in its bones.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bob's right. I think we need to, before we leave, we need to get them out of there. Or at least put a stopper onto the corruption it's experiencing.
Yeah, that's not something I'm good at, but I want to at least make sure the tree is growing again and protected.
Forgive me, Sir Bob, but do you not have a form of purification?
No.
Hmm. Perhaps a form of some radiance might do something against it.
Eleanor thinks for a moment. Is it possible these blackened bones are some sort of blight? Should we bring Ophelia?
I thought about that too.
Yes. Yes, I think you're onto something, Lady Eleanor. If this
Indeed.
is an instruction of blight, it would be a good link to get your knowledge. Plus, with all due respect, she doesn't necessarily need to breathe underwater, does she?
No, from what I've gathered, Ophelia has no need for air. She merely, at this time, mimes the gesture.
I see.
Although she'd still have to swim down there.
Aye, but I'm sure Bob can escort her in his rocket this morning.
Actually, I think you may have just the spell for her as well.
I could turn to a killer whale.
Yeah.
Somebody hides in my stomach or something.
You just Pinocchio this shit.
Well, Black, we cast freedom of movement on her, right? Then she can hover in the water.
Is that how that works?
I don't know.
It's working
Says,
out-
finally, being underwater imposes no penalties on the target's movements or attacks. So,
Huh.
she could just
No
walk in the
penalty on
water.
movement. Interesting.
Yeah.
It's like wearing the blue tunic.
Yeah,
Kinda,
basically.
sorta,
wearing
yeah.
blue things.
Yeah, I just need to prepare it is the problem. So,
Hmm.
it's just like, one more day. And
It's
this
a good
blasted
say
shit.
to himself. Lunaria is the new. Are we still on damage?
Not really.
More like the Savage Lands as a whole.
Yeah. As cool as Savage Lands is, I'm more than happy to move on.
Yeah.
But this is important.
Mhm.
Eleanor thinks for a moment. Well,
Mhm.
I don't quite feel comfortable just letting Bub and Ophelia go down there alone. So
Nor do I.
I could make some water breathing potions, which would take no time at all. And we could just head on down.
If you're comfortable with it, are you sure?
Of course, if there's something of that level of scale down there, in the name of research, we need to go down there.
I don't know.
Balan, the lady's already made up her mind. I don't think it's wise to talk her out of it at this point.
No, I suppose not. Then I
She'll
will be
drag
joining
us
you.
herself if we're not coming.
Yes, I suppose I will. Then I will join you as well. I might as well make an event of it. One last one before we move on.
Eleanor nods. Yes, let's wrap this up quite nicely and be on our way back to the college. I have some questions I intend to ask the Blue Dragon when we arrive.
And his it to deliver.
Yes. Right.
I think that's a wrap up.
Mm-hmm. So, with the parties planning to make a small dip into the underwater temple for treasure, and then make their way back to the College of Asterium, finally heading on out, we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you all for tuning in. Hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.